5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see if it works. Please work. Good evening. We are going to Daytona. Okay, it's going to be like the 125s, 1999. Let me delete that. Let me reload this. Now, this is a test stream. I'm telling you. My son is streaming. Let's see if I can go live while he's not streaming, my bad. He is racing in the other room. We will see if this will work. And hopefully I don't start soon. Hello. Am I live? Let me see. Am I live? I'm watching my camera. Yeah, okay. I'm moving. Anyway, 125s, 1999 Daytona Speedweeks. We are on that projection. I've been out of the streaming world for a little tiny bit. But I'm back. I'm feeling ready to watch some racing. Let's fucking go.
Event in the 1990s. It's a race that can help make or break Speedweeks in Daytona. The Gatorade 125s.
When racing was so freaking cool.
Welcome you back to Daytona. Greg Gumbel back with you at Daytona International Speedway. Coming up, the Gatorade 125 qualifying races from Thursday. 59 drivers were here trying to make the starting field
59.
of 43 for the Daytona 500. For more, let's go back upstairs to Mike Joy, Ned Jarrett, and Buddy
Lots
Baker.
of people like trying to make
Thanks,
this
Greg.
race will be from my
Daytona 500.
like
Time trial
old
on the
modified
front row,
days.
like Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart did. Earn one of the
Let's
first
watch.
13 finishing positions, not counting those drivers in these qualifying races, or fall back on your time trial speed, car owner provisional points, or champions provisional. Ned, that's an awful lot for these drivers to be concerned about here.
Oh, it really is. There are a lot of tough ways to get into the Daytona 500. A lot of nervous people going into these races because many of them don't have the speeds to fall back on. Many of them were not high enough in the point standings at the end of last year to fall back on points. So it is a tough situation in these races.
And worse yet, if
That is true. What I wanted to say is they have to race their way in. But this was old school cup racing where all the would-be hopefuls would spend entire winters building this car, building the hope, and just to run the Daytona 500. Now, when they had qualifying, qualifying, and all that to set the starting lineup for all this, these people, like, you got to think about it. They were like track champions at your local tracks, and they came here with a wing and a prayer and hoping to make the field. But you can never take away the fact that they raced a race car on Daytona at 180 or 175 or 80 or 90 or 200 to make the field. That's the thing that matters most, in my opinion, is the local guys. They get to actually turn laps on the Daytona 500, the Daytona. And now the 125 is their first chance to actually race this track. And I think the 125s to the local guys mean more than anything as far as if you make the field like fantastic, but you never take away that they ran on Daytona at 180. So anyway, that's my spiel. Let's race.
you crash and destroy your car, you have to start at the rear in the 500. So, Buddy Baker, do you go for it or do you save the car for Sunday?
it's the only chance you really get to race against the people you're going to run 500 miles with. I made a huge mistake one time when I was on the pole here. I didn't run the race. I said, I've already won the pole. The car's good. I didn't run the 125 qualifier. End results, terrible car all day long in the 500. They got to go for it.
Just concluded the Napa Auto Parts 300. NASCAR is still working on the official order of finish, looking at the way the cars completed that final lap under caution. Unofficially,
I'm going to play that next. Don't listen.
Winner, Jeff Green,
Spoiler
Andy
alert.
Hillenburg, Matt Kenseth, and they are now showing Mike McLaughlin as the 5th place car. This is very unofficial. Bobby Hillin credited with 6th. Adam Petty now 7th. Kevin LePage, Kevin Grubb, and Jeff Burton are being scored as the top 10. Coming up here at Daytona, tape coverage from Thursday of the Gatorade 125-mile qualifying races for Sunday's Daytona 500. Stay with us. A full sun beats down on the speedway, and that has brought the temperature here up to 70 degrees. Warmer trackside. The humidity, though, is oppressive, 93%. A breeze from the north at 7 miles per hour. Let's have a look at the starting lineup for this first race. Jeff Gordon, Sunday's
First 125, based on qualifying time.
Mark Martin, the winner of last Sunday's Busch Shootout, and Terry Labonte, who had the fastest 125 in history in 1989. Michael Waltrip, runner-up in this event a year ago, shares the third row with Jeff Burton, looking to make his 6th 500. Sterling Marlin is a 2-time winner of the 125.
Dad's work with that Kenny Wallace Team Square D in 97.
Dallenbach trying for his 6th Daytona 500, and Bobby Labonte, last year's 500 runner-up. Jerry Nadeau quick in yesterday's practice, and Rick Mass.
I worked for actually the number 9 in 96
3 years ago, and Jimmy Spencer
under
won
Lake
the
Speed
400-miler in July in 94.
and Harry Melling.
Dan Pardis,
I
the
was
local
very
short track
fortunate
graduate,
to meet
trying to
some
make his
really
first
cool people.
500. Ricky Rudd is trying
Dan
to make his
Pardis is
22nd.
Preston's dad.
Bill Elliott has won 3 of these qualifying races. He starts next to Johnny Benson.
Johnny been in our house. I thought Dad worked for him, but he was getting on Birdie's boat that was docked at my father's.
Billy Standridge has the
So I
only
met
Thunderbird
Johnny.
in the field, and Stanton Barrett, 2nd generation stunt driver and race driver. Jeff Green is trying to put Bud Moore's Ford into the field. And
I met Mike Wallace at Bill Venturini's house for a 4th of July party. He was there when I worked for Lake.
Trying to make his first 500.
Bill Venturini had the coolest 4th of July parties. That's all I had. It was really cool. Magician, fireworks, the whole nine
who ran
yards.
4th in the 95 500.
And homemade
and
pizza.
ARCA veteran Norm Benning seeking his first ride in the big dance. Fill the final row.
Manufacturer's breakdown for this first race. There are 16 Fords, 11
In
Chevrolets,
96,
3 Pontiacs.
Melling and Lake rented the
30 cars
shop
starting
from
the
Bill
event.
Venturini.
50
That's how
laps
the
for
connection
125 miles for a purse
with
of
the
$500,000
Venturinis
and the
and
race
Lake
record
Speed
for one of these 124.
is
This first 125 mile
connected
qualifying
or
race was
whatever.
set back in 1989 by Terry
That's
Labonte
how I
at over
got
189 and a
to
half
the
miles an hour.
4th
He
of
was
July
driving for
party.
Junior Johnson. Obviously, there were no cautions during
Dad
that
worked
race.
for Mike Wallace in
The historic Daytona International Speedway is 2.5 miles around,
90
31
yeah,
degrees in the
97.
turns, and
A couple
18
of
degrees
races
just
in the
below us
beginning.
trial
Through the
zone.
winter. Like Dad was like a
6 degrees on the back
suitcase
straightaway.
dude. So
We're going to ride
he
along with a
bounced
couple of hot
around.
rods
If he
today.
didn't have control
Jeff
of the
Gordon,
chassis,
starting from the pole where he will start
his
Sunday's Daytona 500, has our CBS race cam
his
on board.
theories would not work
Here's
unless
a
you
Rick
had the
Hendrick
whole
Chevrolet,
package. So
and you're looking from the back of the
I know a
Roush
lot of
Ford,
Dad's
Jack Roush's
chassis
Ford, Jeff Burton,
and
the driver,
setup
starting
theories.
in 6th position. You see how steep that banking is
And,
up in turn 4 from the back of Burton's
I
car.
swear by him.
Here's the man on the bubble, Dan
Anyway,
Pardis. By that
Dan
we mean
Pardis.
he is in 14th place in this
14th.
lineup, not counting Jeff Gordon.
So
who's already earned his way
14
into the
cars
500.
qualify
He is
each
the man right
time.
now who
So
sits
14
in
and
the final
14,
transfer
that's
spot from this
28 plus
125-mile
there's
race.
provisionals, maybe.
Pontiac safety car dips to pit road, and Jeff Gordon and Kenny Schrader will bring them
I was
down.
not at the 98 race or the 99 race. 98 or 99. I was at like 95 to 97. Yeah, Daytona. Great place. Probably third on my must see if I was to recommend a track. Number 1, Indianapolis. Oh shoot, that's not good.
Kenny Wallace.
Oh God, Kenny is iffy on
Cars continue to
points.
spin behind him. Kenny Wallace in his first drive for Andy Petrie Racing as teammate to Ken Schrader. There's the 15 of Jeff Green with heavy damage. Dan Pardis, who was the man on the bubble, has front-end damage to his number 50. I believe I saw John Andretti limping along.
I'm talking about some real trouble here. Look at the left front corner of that car, and his time is not good enough to make the Daytona 500 in the 15 car of Bud Moore.
No, he's out of it previously.
They file back to the caution flag at lap 1. Wallace will try to bring his car around to the garage area. Pardis on the right side of your screen, and Andretti also limping along.
Let's take a look and see if we can see what happens as we go into turn number 1. And you can see this car right there down on the
Whatever that car is that went from the outside. Oh, Kenny, my God.
Ned, what happened there is he went in on the flat part of the racetrack and slid up. He didn't mean to do it. You can see the car lose grip right there.
The 25 is below the cut line. He got popped. He popped the 55. He popped
on the first lap of these races when cars are
you
building
can't be
momentum.
below that yellow
Wally
line.
Dahl back
It
at number
like
25.
launches
Chevrolet
you.
had a good run and was going into that corner faster than Wallace.
That damn
He looked
berm
for space on the bottom
at
of the racetrack,
Daytona
and there
is
just
such a
wasn't enough room.
transition from flat to
Andretti comes
that
to pit road. Kenny Wallace goes
angle.
into the garage, hoping
It's
his
like
time trial speed is
a launch
fast enough
pad.
to make the 500.
That stinks for Canaan. All right.
Here comes Schrader.
I didn't preview the video, so
Yeah, he's not going to give up there. He said, I've done it before. I'm going to try it one more time.
Boy, is that a beautiful shot.
and if you are familiar with my videos, I'm on live like in the beginning. But what I'm gonna do, because my son is racing, I will mute my camera just to cut down on the bit and all of that. And I'll be in the chat, and I'm on the mic. I'll answer any questions you got about racing from, I want to say, 1960s to, I would say, 97. After that, I kind of got away from racing for a while. And there is life after NASCAR. But short track racing is always been my passion. So if I follow you because you're a short track racer or an iRacer making the transition to short track, it's because I really want to promote that kind of racing, because that's when racing is still fun. I don't know how many people are having fun when you get up to the cup level today, but I'll tell you, back from my dad's first cup race was 80, 81 to 82. He was crew chief on a cup car in 82 and 83. That was fun. It was a totally different way of life, but I'm glad I got to witness the growth of NASCAR through from the coupes and the modifieds. Now, I don't remember the beach because that was before me, but shortly after. And I remember my favorite driver was Fireball Roberts, so that'll take you back. And Smokey Unick. I'm a huge fan. So anyway, let's see. This is the Gatorade 125's 15 laps of 50. And I'm going to jump off the camera, let you watch all of this. And I'm in the chat. Like I said, my son's an iRacer. He's in the other room and he's messing around. I don't want this to be so blurry, so I'm going to mute my camera.
And the RPMs, buddy. reliability is not nearly as high on these restricted
Hopefully it'll
plate
help.
engines as you would see on an unrestricted.
No, a non-restricted engine that gets a lot of fuel and a lot of air into it, you'd be turning
And I'm still
8,500,
here.
maybe 9,000. With the restrictor plate motor, they make all their horsepower on low RPMs, like 6,800 they're turning right now. You can see they're running just a little over 190 miles an hour.
Now,
The restrictor plates in the NASCAR
1999,
method of controlling speeds here at Daytona.
quite a few years ago, it was a little bit sketch still as far as the pixelation and all that. It's going to be blurry.
This battle is for 6th place. Terry Labonte in that red and yellow number 5.
It's going to be choppy,
Michael
like right
Walker,
there.
new color,
It's coming in
ride for him
choppy.
this year. The number 17.
I think Michael
But
Walker
1996, I worked for Lake Speed's team on the second half of the season. I was a team scorer. Also, the same thing for Jeff Bodine, second half of the season under Tim Brewer in 1997. So I've been to like 56 NASCAR tracks, but after 1997, I didn't work in the sport, but my dad had been in it till 2000. After that, Dad was mainly helping short tracks in the Florida area. He still does help with shocks, this and that. He's got a dyno at the shop. He's in his 80s, but he still does. So anyway, enjoy the 125.
Daytona is not the thing to do.
And I'm here in the chat.
He is because he's been trying everything to hook up with Mark Martin. He's telling Frank Stoddard, his crew chief, that nobody will get out of his way and cooperate, and we know why that is. The last thing in the world the rest of the field wants is for the 6 and the 99 to hook up.
That Phillips lighting number 7 is Jeff Bodine's team. Well, it was Jim Matei who bought it from Bowtie, and I think this is like their last year.
These two guys last year, Jeff Gordon, and you see right in the 6th car there, Mark Martin, they battled one of the closest battles ever for the national championship. Very strong, but Sterling Marlin looks to the inside as they start off the dog leg, making it too wide for 2nd spot.
And evidently Bobby Labonte sensed that because he made the move coming off of turn 4 to go to the inside so he could pick up a draft for anyone who might go down there.
Sterling Marlin knows how to win at Daytona as well as anybody here.
Well, Jeff Burton might be able to get with his teammate in a moment because there's Mark Martin heading backwards a little bit.
This looked like a gang fight, and the rest of Mark's gang of Fords didn't show up there at the front of the pack, and all the Chevys lined up halfway. 25 of 50 laps coming this time.
Boy, I take that back to what I said about Michael Waltrip. He's got a very good race car. He moves to the bottom of the racetrack, but he's by himself right now. That's not a good situation, but apparently he's just feeling that car out. It's a new team for him, and he's getting a lot of experience right now as to what a Chevrolet wants because he's been in a Ford for the Wood Brothers for a couple of years now.
Now, with these cars racing side by side up here in this first pack, that's good news for that second pack. As we said a moment ago, they might not be able to catch them. Well, they are beginning to move in on them a little bit now.
2.2 seconds from this group back to the second pack of cars. Mark Martin second just 3 laps ago. He has drifted back into the clutches of this next group.
Well, what he's done is moved back there and got his teammate hooked up with him now. These two may come right back to the front. He has a drafting partner. That might have been strategy. He dropped back there, picked Burton up. Now they're back up on the high side of the racetrack and trying to run down the leader.
Stay tuned for more coverage of the Gatorade 125 from Daytona. After 43 laps, just 2 leaders in this race. 1 lead change, average speed 158.5 miles per hour. 1 caution for 4 laps. 7 cars off the track, out of the race. 4 cars crashing out. Dollenbach with electrical trouble. Benning and Gibson handling problem. 6 laps to go. Labonte's Pontiac is the
Oh my
lead.
goodness, that went
Leaders
fast.
Chevrolet, number 33, Gordon Chevy, number 24, Sterling Marlin Chevy,
And it's
number
so
40, and then the
freaking-
Fords, 99 Burton and 6 Mark Martin. Ray Evernham.
He
Jeff
looks
Gordon.
worried. He don't look worried a bit. They know they have a great race car. They're going to start on the pole. They've learned a lot about race setup through this race. I
I was just trying to clear it up just a smidge, but old-fashioned cameras on a wide angle like that doesn't translate well into digital. 5 to go at Daytona.
In this event, here is Darrell Waltrip, 18th place. That will not get him into the Daytona 500. We won't know until after
Darrell
the second
probably
qualifying
get
race
in on a Champions. He always did.
Right. The only possible chance he has at this point would be to get in on the past champions provisional, and that'll depend on what happens.
Look at the list of people that will not qualify. Hardest.
Held off all comers in the closing lap.
Kenny Wallace.
Bobby Labonte, is he in the place to be, or is
Unless
he
their time was
It
okay.
depends on what happens behind him. If a race breaks out for second
Old
place,
film.
all of a sudden he's out there by himself. He'll have
Incoming
an advantage
weird
by being in the lead.
blue
If they
screen.
work together and try to get by him, he might be a sitting
Stanton Barrett looks like he might make it.
Johnny Benson has come to pit road. May see his chances of making the 500 going away. Missed the show last year. Did run in the 500 in 1997 after winning the Grand National Championship.
I don't think his speed would
That
get him
stinks
in,
for
but the
Johnny.
possibility of the points, his car owner finished 22nd in last year's point standing, so that could be a possibility.
So, Ned, what I'm hearing is if Schrader and Gordon go together, they could beat Bobby Labonte, but either one by himself might not be able to.
I would say that would be very difficult for either one of them by themselves to pass it.
Mike, Jeff Gordon just dropped back just a little bit. I think he's going to try to make a run on these guys. He went back about...
I believe the people in the green make it.
Second place as we speak.
Underneath Ken Schrader going to turn one. That's Gordon on the inside, and that's where leader Bobby Labonte is. So Schrader is now fronting the outside line, and by the laws of the draft and aerodynamics, is going to move a bit backwards.
You can see this isn't just a walk in the
Steve
park.
Park in the one after he had a bad wreck the year before.
Now you see he's getting pushed around a little bit.
Last
Mike
Pontiac to
Wallace,
win,
P.
A Gatorade 125.
19
Bobby
might
Allison,
not make it either.
1981.
Jeff Burton has his line up in the second as they come off the turn 2 or 4 there. You can see back in the pack here, 3 wide. As they
I think they said in the beginning of the race that P14 and better made it.
One thing that could help Bobby Labonte is we see that 3 wide continue through there. I'm not sure how smart that is because they're in the Daytona 500 and they don't need to be taking chances if they want to finish as far up as they can. I started to say one thing that might help Bobby Labonte, they're coming up on
And then we got Waltrip because of the Champions Provisional, I believe. But he would be in
Too
green.
slow to be of any help to Bobby Labonte. A lap.
I'm looking forward to the next one because it's got a lot of the northern modified drivers, I believe, from when I remember watching the qualifying. Now, it's been a week or so. We had so much rain, so I was dealing with other things and stuff outside, so I got a little off my schedule.
Bobby Labonte will be driving with his rear view.
One lap to go. Bobby Labonte over Gordon. That's amazing.
You see Gordon dropping back just a little bit there, trying to get that
Amazing
move
for
on the
Bobby.
33 car there in the draft. He's going to try to make his move going down in turn 3, but he's not quite going to be able to make it. Bobby goes to the bottom of the racetrack.
Schrader now has Jeff Burton on
Oh,
the inside,
boy.
trying to shove one of those Fords up into the top 5 for Jack Rouse. So Schrader's got to fight the high
Catbird
side.
seats
They are
always
2 by 2 for
the
third place, and Gordon
P1 on the backstretch
Bobby Labonte
at
on the
Daytona, but he fought him off
500
good.
feet, 500 feet to the finish line for the first time since 1981. A Pontiac wins the Gatorade 125.
I apologize for the quality. For some reason, it's coming in really blurry. North Carolina internet. My son's iRacing in the other room. Might be like grabbing my bits.
And we'll catch up with Bobby Labonte in victory lane right after this. Mark Martin, the top 5. Jimmy Spencer, Michael Waldrop, Robert
I did
Presley,
not
Shirley
preview
Marlin, Terry
this,
Labonte,
so
the
I
top
don't
10.
know how
Rick
blurry
Mast, Steve
things
Park,
are.
Jerry Nadeau, Ted Musgrave, and Ricky Rudd all raced their way into the Daytona 500 field.
All the big guys.
Darrell Waltrip, Mike Wallace, Bill Elliott, and the rest of these drivers will have to hope their qualifying
Holy
speed
moly.
is fast enough or their 1998 point standings are high enough to get them into the 500. Let's go to Victory Lane and Ken Squire.
The pride of Corpus Christi, Texas, wins his first.
So hard to get into
125-mile
Daytona if you're not
qualifier.
in
And here is
the
Bobby
top
Labonte about to come out
top
of
teams.
the Joe Gibbs number 18 to a
But
great
it's still
accolade
just as
from
important.
this audience here at Daytona.
I think it's just as important. Because it's that
Bobby.
hope. You can't buy
lot of
hope,
muscle
but
this
you
thing
build a race
has.
car and hope
Well, I
to.
tell you what, these guys did a great job. The motor
Run
room, we
it
put a new
at
engine in last
Daytona.
night,
I
this
mean,
morning, and the guys did.
even if you
And
don't
they
make
did
the
a great
show,
job.
I
We
mean,
made a little call on the other one that wasn't quite
no
as
one
good.
can
and this
take
one here's
away
pretty
you
strong.
ran
So,
Daytona.
Looks like you're ready
in
to
a race
win the
car.
Great American Race.
I don't know if I'm ready. I ain't been trying very long, but you know, I'd like to say that I've got some good opportunities with a great bunch of guys, and you know, if we can keep it going for years to come, you know, I might not get mine this year, but I'm gonna keep trying every year I can. I can tell you that.
Bobby Labonte wins the first of the 125-mile qualifiers.
Coming up next.
So y'all know I upload these within the next couple days to YouTube,
Rusty Wallace, twice a
and
runner-up
you
in
can
these races, and
review
earlier
them
in the
there or
94 and
fast
96
forward
winner.
through whatever
Dale
or
Earnhardt
whatever.
trying
I
to
try
shatter
to
his own
kind
record
of
and
fast
win his
forward
10th
through
straight qualifying race. Jeremy Mayfield had a strong
through
third-place finish in last year's
a lot
500.
of long greens or
Joe
whatever.
Nemechek goes for his fifth 500
Because I'm
start,
researching
and
the book
Bobby
of my
Hamilton driving
dad's
for the Morgan LeCour
history.
team that have won 3 Daytona 500.
He's worked with many of
Dale
these
Jarrett
drivers.
won the 500
so
here in 93 and 96. Kyle Petty
I was
looking
lucky
to make
enough
his 20th
to
start. Ward Burton
tag
fifth in the
along
qualifier a
on
year
a lot
ago,
of
and Rich
the
Bickle trying to
occasions.
start his first 500 in a decade. Chad Little, 7th in the 500 last year, and Brett Bodine makes his 12th start. Jeffrey Bodine, who won a qualifying race and a 500. Kenny Irwin, last
Because
year's
of
Rookie of the Year.
Jeff Gordon, they
Elliott Sadler,
did the
rookie,
Jeffrey
driving
thing.
for
It
the
was kind of a
Storywood brothers.
marketing
And
thing.
Kevin LePage, the Vermonter, on the Jack
But
Roush
when I
team.
worked for him, he was Jeff
Steve Grissom,
Bodine.
a front row starter in the
QVC.
500 in 97, and David Green trying to make his first 500. Ricky Craven finished third in the Daytona 500 2 years ago, and Andy Hillenberg hopes to make the big dance for the second year in a row. Ken Bouchard, NASCAR Rookie of the Year.
Ken
in
Bouchard,
1988,
I grew up
and
with
Gary Bradbury,
him. We were all
hoping to get
born
into
in the
500 for
same
the first time. Then there's Glenn Morgan, the
town,
rookie from Texas,
basically.
and Dave Marcus, who won a qualifying race here 23 years ago. Derek Cope, winner of the 500 in 1990. And for Dick Trickle, it's the 10th different team he's driven for in the 125-miler. Jim Sauter, the other Wisconsin veteran in the field, is driving a second car out of the Dave Marcus shop.
Manufacturer's breakdown for this second 125-mile qualifying.
They're gonna
race.
run a
There's
couple,
12 in the field, 11
pace
Chevrolets,
laps here.
6 Pontiacs. There are 29 cars in this race. They'll go for 50 laps, 125 miles, another $500,000 up for grabs. Race record 189 and a half.
Kenny Bouchard is the younger brother of
That year,
the
Labonte and Sterling Marlin
more
were the first
famous
to run that qualifying race at the
person. My
125-mile
dad
distance without a pit stop.
won
Trend
4
that
track
continues to
champion.
this day. Dale Earnhardt will have
Ships
a CBS race
within
cam, starting his Richard
the
Sugar Chevrolet
late
from
60s,
fifth place.
early 70s at
Dale
Seekonk
Jarrett,
Speedway.
Robert Yates Ford,
68, 69, 70, 71, Dad built on his car.
Is in the Ward Burton Pontiac. That's Bill Davis Racing.
And then it kind of launched him. The A-class, whatever, ARC sanction was very similar to a modified, the A-class at Seekonk. And they ventured to Stafford and ended up finishing third their first race. And that's how the story goes, that Ronnie ended up driving in Winston Cup and winning the Talladega 500 in 1981.
The green flag for 50 laps, 125 miles. We're racing.
the front of the field. Turn 2, Stewart draws away a car length on Mike Skinner in the outside lane. Oh, that thing's a rocket. Look at Stewart scoot away, and here comes Earnhardt.
Earnhardt on the flat part of the racetrack going down towards turn 3. You can see just in front of him Tony Stewart leading the race, but Dale Earnhardt said he's still the man
Epic
here.
drivers here.
In the garage area.
And Joe Nemechek slipped up in there. He had a good
First lap. A lap runs down the back straightaway, and now double file, triple file again. Coming to the tri-oval, sneaking a look to the bottom of the racetrack with Dale Jarrett in 88. But look at Earnhardt. He's up to second spot.
Yeah, team cars side by side going down in there. I bet Richard Childress saying, guys, trying to get together, but they can't right now. There's so much traffic up there, they can't get together.
3 wide in turn 2. Ernie Irvan way up top.
Holy smokes.
Mike Skinner in the middle.
Go deal, go deal. It's like
Tony Stewart just sitting out there
you
riding
have
by
got to
himself,
count
and
the
here comes Earnhardt.
amount of cars. If you got 5 cars versus 2, all right, that whole situation, bottom line's going. You got 5 cars against 4, the 5 cars are going to beat you.
Look at this crowd, 3 wide.
Gee whiz.
As they come to the tri-oval, and out in front of all of them by himself is Tony Stewart. Here's Ralph.
Young Tony.
Veteran moves being made behind Tony Stewart, but he truly is.
I do believe this is Tony Stewart's very first year in Winston Cup.
Which gear do I start this thing in?
In the number 20. Oh, that's where Brian Larson went with to be the gas man on that 20. I remember that. And the reason I mentioned Brian is because he was a guy Mike Diane hired out of UP Michigan, Upper Peninsula. They were short track racers, and he gave them a chance on Joe Nemechek's team in 1992. Him and Mikey Boisinger, which I believe Mikey Boisinger might be involved still there in the 87 Bell South car. He was crew chief when it was Burger King. And Dad had took over the Busch side. Just studying the Nemecheks would be like a really epic, like, history because of how they came into it. And I unfortunately lived through the tragedy of losing John. John was a good friend of mine as well. And all the whole thing, and to come full circle with John Hunter, and he's racing nowadays.
Still ran without one all of last season. There's Nemechek in 42.
It just is a good example of all the families that really love motorsports. You give everything. I mean, they gave their own family member, you know. And John was such a good kid.
A little bit of a sprinkle in turn number 3, but at this rate,
when we won
put the field under caution unless it intensifies.
In 92 at New Hampshire, we all rode with the team van over to have the victory dinner, and we were all doing little shots of Crown in the back of the van, and John was pouring. And then later on, I mean, he was really cool. My son, he let my son work on the car with him, and my son was like 13 maybe, 12, 13. It's a great family. But the whole Nemechek family has a good background in motorsports.
Started 9th. He's climbed to 2nd. I think, Ned, that's the toughest job for any rookie, is to gain the respect of the drivers so they will trust you to run with you in the draft.
It is, and having a fast car doesn't gain that trust. You got to get up there and mix it up with them and make the right moves up there.
Tony Stewart's got a fast car, but he needs some friends. Dick Berggren?
And he doesn't have the mic, and they said that this morning. The team was aware that Tony Stewart had to stay in the lead of this event, or he was just going to wind up in the back of the pack. He has had trouble here at Daytona. Even though he's an IndyCar champion, he has had trouble here at Daytona, finding people who would race with him. They just don't know enough about this young 27-year-old racer, but I'll tell you what, he's a good one, and they're going to learn a whole lot more about Tony Stewart before this deal's done.
And his main goal right here is to bring that car back in one piece. If he wrecks that car,
That's a freaking understatement, right?
Starting at the rear instead of on the outside pole.
Let's go back to 23rd spot. That's number 30, Derek Cope. 71 is Dave Marcus, left of your screen. And 72, the second car out of Marcus's small shop, Jim Sauter. 31 times Dave Marcus has been in the Daytona 500, and he's never come to February in Daytona and failed to qualify for the big dance. This year he's got 2 cars.
You know, y'all, like,
that streak intact.
in motorsports, you see so many young people. Like, I see 13, 14, 15-year-olds, and they're starting to move up. And I even see 20, 21, 22, under 25-years-olds up in the top series and cup. And they have so much raw talent. And the part that's missing is the emotional maturity. And you really have to work with these young guys to keep them focused, keep them grounded, and seat time. But motorsports is looking good. I mean, NASCAR make, plus or minus, whatever, NASCAR. But local short tracks, the local talent is incredible. I've never seen it this rich in young talent. And it's a matter of being likable above your talent, so you get that good deal. And the biggest thing is, no matter how far you go up the ranks in all these motorsports, the biggest thing is be likable, and you're going to be able to get sponsors. Like, you see so many talented people, but there's that little extra pinch of X factor that will set you above others. And we see that with several in the Cars Tour at this point in time that really deserve a break. And I don't know. I mean, a young guy with no fear and all that talent versus someone who is a little seasoned with all that talent and a little bit of common sense. I kind of want to go with the guy with a little bit of seasoning, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
He's been strong all week long, and you never know what he's got. He's won 9 of these things in a row, so he's out front where he usually is. But we got a good car.
Does it seem better, high, low, in the middle?
He seems to be staying on the bottom right behind Earnhardt. But he has had to run high. I think the car will go anywhere it needs to go. He hasn't said anything at all.
Mike now he just needs a friend to get on past Dale Earnhardt.
Oh, he's got a fast Ford right behind him in Mayfield. Look at this group. And Tony Stewart's fought his way to the front of it.
Yeah, the first 5 are nose to tail, but back here there's a war going on. Mike Skinner and, of course, Tony Stewart side by side for about 3 laps now. They've really been going at it.
And as a result, they have lost the draft of that front 5. I think they'd be wise to let Tony Stewart get in front and let him help pull them back up to that lead pack.
Now, here's somebody who will work with Stewart. Both Kenny Irwin and Tony Stewart are graduates of USAC open wheel racing. So that's Irwin lined up right behind his old fenderless racing buddy.
I think that's what Kenny Irwin has in mind right now, is to try to help. Well, no, he's not going to.
I said that, boy. Oh, there's more contact. Tony Stewart got into the left rear quarter there as they started in the corner.
Yeah, that could have been a situation right there.
Two cars slam into the wall. Dick Trickle, number 13, is one, and David Green trying to make his first 500 after being Busch Grand National champion. And caution will come out for the first time in this second Gatorade 125.
They'll race back to the flag. Earnhardt, of course, has them under control. They basically will maintain their positions as they come back to the flag.
All right, let's have a look at what happened with Dick Trickle and David Green down in turn 1.
Okay, here is David Green in the 41 car, the white one, as they go down into turn 1.
Dick Trickle moves up, loses the back end of the car going into turn 1, comes back up, and there's the contact.
David Green's car is badly damaged. Dick Trickle may be able to make repairs. We're under caution in the second Gatorade 125. Dale Earnhardt leading Dale Jarrett and Jeremy Mayfield. In 29 laps, Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt traded the lead. Average speed slowed to 159 miles an hour by this one caution that has taken David Green out of the race. Dick Trickle made repairs and continues. None of the leaders made pit stops, so we're back under green with Earnhardt leading. Let's go to Ken Squire.
Just behind that front four, Earnhardt, Jarrett, Mayfield, and Wallace. One of the major stories here, number 16 from Shelburne, Vermont. Kevin LePage started 18th on the grid, and here he is in his second Daytona 500 try, challenging the top four as we move toward the end of this race. Mike?
Forward to the inside is Mayfield looking at Jarrett for that third spot. No, they're going to hold that bottom line right there.
Talking about Kevin LePage in the 16 there, I talked to him and he said the car will not run by itself, but in the draft it is perfect. And you can see the way he's moved up through the field that he has a rocket ship when he gets into a race.
Well, that 7-car pack make it 8 with Chad Little. And they have 6 behind them trying to join that group, but they just won't settle single file. A lot of racing going on right there with Bobby Hamilton, Derek Cope. Dave Marcus is in that mix, and Kenny Irwin. How about Marcus?
He's got himself in position. If he can maintain that, then he'll be in another Daytona 500.
Dave Marcus trying for the 32nd time to make this race. He has never missed it. Kenny Irwin moves around the outside of Marcus, but if he can tack onto the draft, he'll have a spot in the race. Here's one reason why. Behind him, they're still skirmishing.
Yeah, that's bad to look in the mirror and see them 3 wide and they're catching you. You see Ricky Craven has got caught there. Kyle Petty's just behind him there.
Trouble behind the leaders coming out of the trial. The 1 car goes spinning. It's the rookie from Texas, Glenn Morgan.
1, 2, 3, 360.
Caution will come out. No other contact. Everybody else makes it by. Morgan trying to refire. Gets it started up. And out of harm's way. Buddy, what happened here?
Boy, he just looked like the car just turned around up there. I didn't see anybody make any contact or anything. You can do that running 200 miles an hour. You can lose the car. I mean,
He had to check up.
Nobody has to touch you.
There was like a bottleneck coming off a full.
18 laps to go in the second Gatorade 125. Dale Earnhardt trying to win his 10th qualifier in a row here at Daytona.
But you can't take away from the guy. He got to run Daytona in a real race. Took home his car in one piece. I say that's a plus. For real, I mean, to make it here is so hard back in the 90s.
Looking at Jarrett, looking for a move, but he's going to run out of straightaway before they get to the banking.
Yeah, he also ran out of horsepower. Jarrett just kicked it in there and pulled it away from him a little bit into the straightaway.
Oh, look at the pack right behind them, though, while they're single file up front. Rush hour. Wow.
I'm doing kind of a test stream. I know it's a little jittery and the quality is 1999, but my son is iRacing on the same Wi-Fi. He's hardlined. I'm not, so it may be a little subpar.
He tried him low, he's
but it was kind of a test to see if I can stream while he's racing. Usually I don't.
And that battle's still going on back in the pack. Now Jarrett looks high once again. He's going to see if Mayfield will go with him coming off of turn 4.
And I'm going through my diet's history, which will be the Gatorade 300, which is the Busch series. He'll be helping on the Tim Feedle at 36 and 90. So it will be a first for me to watch the 300, knowing the background.
He's driving the car.
7 laps to go, 45. Rich Bickle is the bubble car. There he is. On the left side of your screen in that 3-wide battle.
Nemechek's in on, they used to have something called bonus because of your previous year. Get like a points bonus for finishing. It used to be called Winner's Circle, but it's like kind of a transition where racing the previous year and finishing in points gives you more clout in Daytona. Like you'll see the cars in red don't make it. The ones in black aren't making it, but the ones in green are in. So I'm watching Kenny Bouchard because the car would not qualify well because it's like super low budget, but on its own on the track. But it may be a car that races well in the track. Back in the day, if you could stay with the lead pack, you were in good shape.
5 laps to go.
5 to go.
Hauling them around, trying for his 10th straight and his 12th overall victory in the Gatorade 125. Here's Ralph.
Mike, when you're that kind of a veteran like
I don't think Senior ever ran 125. He didn't win.
It's single file, and how many laps to go? That's
He
all
was-
the information he's getting. They're leaving all the driving
was
decisions
amazing.
up to Earnhardt.
And he's doing a good job of just that, Ralph. He's moving around.
Certain things in life, you remember where you were when you heard the bad stuff, like shuttle blowing up or Elvis passing or Earnhardt.
There's Richard Childress, who owns Mike Skinner's and Dale Earnhardt's cars. Mark is in danger of missing
Was
the
an
500 for the first
amazing time
He
to
does a lot of testing
live,
with this man right here, Richard
but
Childress and Dale Earnhardt.
we paid a lot of
Also
dues.
test the International Race of Champions cars.
Ooh, Ricky Craven in the middle in the car number 58 back there as we go back to the front.
Yeah, it looks like a big Congo line as they go down there. Whatever Earnhardt does, they just mirror shadow him down through there. I got a feeling right now that Earnhardt's going to be a tough customer to pass because he's using all the racetrack.
He can make that car very wide.
6 cars to decide it for the win with 3 laps to go. The Chevrolets of Earnhardt and Skinner, the Fords of Jarrett, Mayfield, Wallace, and LePage back there. The Pontiac of Tony Stewart.
Gosh.
I've been watching Dale Jarrett right there, and he's looked 2 or 3 times on the inside going down towards turn 1. If he makes a move, I think that's where it'll be.
The bubble car, Ernie Irvin, right there, number 36.
You're an artist too, huh?
Look how far apart they are,
The
though.
fellow who wants it
I mean, they had such a large wake off of the car in front of them.
Kenny Bouchard's in it, the former Rookie of the Year. Up with that pack and Jeffrey Bodine and Kyle Petty.
No joke.
Those cars right there, only 4 of them are going to transfer into this race,
Come on, Kenny.
except by speed or provisional.
Kenny actually, this is a behind the scenes. When Dad was nominated and inducted into the New England Auto Races Hall of Fame, Kenny Bouchard actually delivered the speech for Dad's induction, and I've got several photos of myself and Mom and Dad and my sisters and Kenny that night in Connecticut. He was class of 2011, and we were there in the early, like February 2012, I believe. We flew up. I'm telling you, motorsports is amazing. And no matter what, I don't care if you race your quarter mile in your backyard or quarter mile in your next town over, and you go watch those short tracks. The passion for winning and competitiveness and the love of innovation and going faster than your competitor is still alive and well in your short tracks, in your local area. Even though I've worked in Cup and Busch and all of that, there is more pleasure in, for me personally, to go to my local short track and watch that passion and that drive and that competitiveness.
When we come back, Dale
So,
Earnhardt will be in the place
yeah,
he knows the way
this
to
is
best.
where you can
Victory lane
get,
at Daytona.
but I don't know. I still think it has to be fun overall.
Everybody on board.
Let's see,
Jim
we'll
Goodrich,
get
we're good all week.
Dale's.
We felt good about it.
Sorry.
American race,
Here we
the
go.
Daytona 500, live on CBS, noon Eastern Time. Let's go to victory lane and Ken Squire.
His 32nd victory at Daytona.
I actually might, after these 125s, jump to the Gatorade 300 or whatever they called it, Goodies 300.
First lap. Brand new race car.
I'm used to the
It worked good all week.
Goodies
We felt good about it.
300,
It
but
drove good every lap. I could go anywhere I wanted to go. No push, no lows. She's perfect. She's ready to run 500 miles.
Are you
me
ready
see.
to become the
I'll start that over. My bad.
No push, no lows. She's perfect. She's ready to run 500 miles.
Are you ready to become the fourth man in history to win the Daytona 500 back-to-back?
Well, that'd be great. You know, we got to get there. It's 500 miles a long way. There's a lot of great race cars, but I tell you, I got to thank Richard Childress and all the guys, the crew, the engine guys, everybody on board, Jim Goodrich, everybody for hanging with us. This thing did a great job.
Dale, congratulations on a beautifully driven race.
Thank you.
10 years in a row, Dale Earnhardt has won a Gatorade 125. How about Jeremy Mayfield, third in last year's 500, second today? Dale Jarrett, two-time 500 winner, Rusty Wallace, and Mike Skinner, the top five. Tony Stewart, who will start on the outside pole on Sunday, ahead of Kevin LePage, Bobby Hamilton, Ward Burton, and Derek Cope. Rich Bickle, Kyle Petty, and Chad Little had to race their way into the field. So did Ricky Craven and Jeff Bodine, and they all made it. Some of these other drivers, like Kenny Irwin, will fall back on championship points. Ernie Irvin on his qualifying speed, and Elliott Sadler on points. They'll make the 500. And looking on back, Joe Nemechek, Brett Bodine are in it. Dave Marcus, his speed is likely fast enough. Gary Bradbury, Ken Bouchard, not so fortunate. Jim Sauter, Dick Trickle, Morgan, and Green, the final finishers. We'll be back with more from Daytona International Speedway after this.
well, that kind of stunk there that Kenny didn't make it, but let's see. We're going to jump ahead. Here we go.
This race. For my Nicholsworth, I really like Mark Martin. He won that Bud shootout. He's had a third, fourth, and a seventh. Had a little trouble last year. I think he's going to be really strong when we get ready to go. Take a look at that starting grid for tomorrow. And let's switch to Mike Joy. Mike, who do you like?
Ken, it's a ways down the grid, but Terry Labonte is the name that comes to mind. 21 tries to win the 500. He has a brother in the field, and he has two Hendrick Motorsports teammates. So that's pretty good odds. I'd like to see him win it. Ned Jarrett's been here for every single 500.
And I think if they can beat Dale Jarrett in this year's Daytona 500, we'll see one of the Labonte brothers in victory lane.
Well, Buddy Baker, winner of the fastest 500 ever. Your pick.
33 times Dale Earnhardt has won a race here at Daytona. Won 500. But
Okay, that just opened up. This is Kenny Bouchard, and this is a car my dad worked for him to win the Yankee All-Star Series. It was a 7 or 8 race series in New England in the modifieds early days. I want to say this is probably 75 or 6.
And it's Bobby Labonte. Why? Well, the last time a Pontiac won a qualifying race
But
was 1981.
that was the Ken Bouchard that was in the race that did not make it in.
Back to you, Mike.
It's really hard to make it into Daytona if you didn't run the year before.
This practice session, what's the most important thing you can learn from this?
Not to get in too much trouble. Look how close they're running.
One more
That's
picture.
Close to 200 miles an hour.
There is my dad in the middle, Dale Sr., and Robert Yates. This was taken at Watkins Glen 1993. Dad was with Dentine, still Joe Nemechek, just coming off the winning championship for Busch. And Dad said he was walking by and Dale said, "Come over here for a minute." And he squatted down and Robert came over and my dad was just chit-chatting. I believe this was to do with probably a curiosity about Dad's shocks, because he will end up building some shocks for Dale in 93. So, yeah, all that. Penske's. Dad's big on the shock dyno. On my website, my YouTube, there's some shock dyno stuff.
And a wild one like that, you'd say yes. But let me tell you,
under my name, same
500,
as,
the biggest race
just
of the
look
year,
up T. Kangas or whatever.
Grand National point standings mirror the order of finish today. They move on to Rockingham, North Carolina next Saturday. Practice continues.
An old school modified brat from 60s and 70s. I'm in my 60s now. Dad's in his 80s. But he taught me a lot about motorsports and about chassis theory.
Don't forget, tomorrow, beginning at noon Eastern
in addition to going to every track prior to 97,
this is the story of the one.
Okay,
as a lineman, it's his job to keep the power on. That's why he chooses.
Let me close this. I already got the there's me. That's me and Bobby Labonte score 1996 at Daytona. That was the beginning of where they built the towers. You'll see through the years it turns like checker flag and this, that, but that was 96. Let me see. I do have Yipper. Okay. We got the 99, the goodies race, and I'll run this one, and then that will be that. Watch the race, and then we can snooze.
Hello,
it's like a
I'm
little
Steve
watch
Hanshew,
party.
president of Napa Auto Parts. On behalf of more than 6,000 Napa stores across the nation, we broadcast of the Napa Auto Parts 300. Thanks for watching. And
Napa Auto Parts 300.
Welcome back to Daytona,
Not
where
goodies.
it is a beautiful but cool day for racing after showers last night and a cold front moving in. They've been practicing these cars in the 80s
That's
all
with
week.
Tim
Look
feet
now,
of us
just
still.
barely 52
After they
degrees,
come off
lot
of
less humidity, but a stiffer wind, 50 miles an hour
1998
from the northwest.
in
Gonna
the
be sunny
33
today, and
Kleenex. I think they
track and car
finished
temperature is.
7th in points.
Let's have a look.
So they'll make the field, I would think. But Dad's not the crew chief.
Okay.
It
Okay, then
was
I'll say it.
Clyde McLeod on the 36. He had been there forever. So Dad was helping with the front end chassis
Let's have a
and
look at the
setup
starting
stuff.
lineup for today's season opener for the Busch Grand National Division. Kenny Schrader, third career pole and the first in this series since '95. Randy LaJoie won this race 2 years ago. Mike McLaughlin again on the front row at Daytona, and Casey Atwood, 18-year-old rookie. Dave Blaney, World of Outlaws champion. Bobby Hamilton Jr., a 22-year-old rookie. Tim Fedewa, a two-time winner last season, and Larry Pearson, twice national champion. Michael Waltrip, twice he's been runner-up here. Joe Nemechek won this race a year ago. Jeff Burton, a three-time winner on the Busch circuit last year, and Jason Keller from South Carolina. Jeff Green from Tennessee, and Chuck Bound, the 1990 Series champion, returns. Terry Labonte, 3 out of 4 tries. He's finished in the top 4 here. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., 7 wins en route to the series title last year. Todd Bodine, second here 2 years ago. And Matt Kenseth, season runner-up last year. Kevin LePage had a win last year. Mike Dillon, his 4th Daytona start. 4th generation rookie Adam Petty starts next to last year's Rookie of the Year, Andy Santerre. Then it's Bobby Hillen and Phil Parsons in row number 12. Row 13, Lyndon Amick and Kevin Grubb from Virginia. Mark Martin, the all-time series winner, and Jimmy Kitchens from Alabama. Mark Green and ageless Dick Trickle, the senior member of the field at 57. Jeff Finley from ARCA, and Ron Hornaday, the Truck Series champion. Kerry Earnhardt, Dale Jr.'s older brother, and Glenn Allen. Jeff Fuller, the former modified champ, and Elton Sawyer. Jason Jarrett makes his Daytona debut. Jeff Fuller, Brad Loney. Tony Raines, along with Elton Sawyer. Jason Jarrett makes his Daytona debut. And Jeff Purvis, who finished a close second last year. Curtis Markham and former ARCA champ Andy Hillenberg take provisionals, as does 95 Series champion Johnny Benson.
Take a look at those who failed to qualify for this race. It's a long list. There's not a short track promoter in America that wouldn't like to have this field for a Saturday night race. You can see some great stars in there. Ted Musgrave among them, Steve Grissom, Winston Cup driver.
Wow.
And Freddie Query, who's a champion from last year in another
I knew
series
Hank
of NASCAR.
Parker.
Morgan Shepherd,
I met
Mike
him
Stefanik, who
at
won 2
exit
championships
36. Bar and billiards. It was a fun,
we'll have
little place.
a nice
back
shot
then.
of the infield while we wait and wait.
This
and
little area of
and wait some more.
Mooresville, North
In the
Carolina,
field today, there'll be 36 Chevrolets. 4
I got to
Pontiac,
see the
and
whole
only 3
growth of it.
Fords.
Like
There's
when I moved here,
speculation that the Ford
it had
gets a little too
a
much
Shell
downforce to
station
really
and a
compete
Hardee's
with a plate
at
motor
exit
on
36
speedways.
and 150.
There are 43
And
cars starting the race today. They'll run 300
to
miles. That's
see it
120
now
laps,
is
and they'll
like
be running for a purse of
crazy.
$1.2+ million. Fuel window is somewhere from 54 to 60 laps. The race record was set
But
back
all
in
these young
1978 by
kids,
Darrell
I got
Waltrip
to
at over
see them, like
162
many
miles
of
an hour.
them, like would hang out and play pool and billiards.
Taking
You
a
know,
look
like
at Daytona
we had
International
9-ball
Speedway,
tournaments
it's
and
2.5
all kinds
miles
of crazy
Chicago
stuff.
course.
Back in the
31
day, in the
degrees in the turns
NTI,
here,
NASCAR
18
Tech,
degrees right below us in
kids
the
would
Chicago,
all
6 degrees
like
in the
go
back
there
straightaway.
and
Today we're
we
going to
would
ride
all shoot
along with Mike
pool. It
McLaughlin.
was
That's the Gould
like
Pump
such a
in-car camera,
neat
the Team 34
little
Chevrolet.
community that I got to see behind the scenes. My son and I would
Also,
go
Joe
there and
Nemechek,
play
defending
pool
champion of this race, will
and
start
hang
10th,
out
carrying the Bell South
and met so many
Mobility.
like really
Thank you, Bell
neat
South. I have the paper now. Bell South Mobility race cam in his Chevrolet. Mark Martin, the Winn-Dixie race cam in that Jack Roush Ford, number 60. From Alabama, Jimmy Kitchens, the Air Jamaica Vacations cam, and that all-car
That's
Motorsports
incoming.
Chevrolet, number 22. Ron Hornaday, the Truck Series
That's
champion.
called like
The Napa Auto Parts cam is in his Chevrolet.
we called it flea fighting
And Kerry Earnhardt,
when we get
another
the
Dale
screen
Earnhardt
like
Racing
that
Sons,
back
he'll
in
be
the
carrying
day.
Channel lock cam in his Chevy. Elton Sawyer will have the Lysol camera in his Chevrolet. Did he switch to a Ford? Elton? Was it Elton that switched to the Ford?
No, Glenn Allen.
Glenn Allen, thank you. That's the old 38. That's right. All right, let's go trackside and meet the third pit crew member.
Good gracious.
Easy for you to say. Let's go to pit road and meet the third member of our CBS pit crew. Here's John Force.
Thank you very much, Mike. You know, if there's one word to describe the overwhelming mood in the garages this morning, it would have to be apprehension. We mentioned the accident yesterday in practice. We talked about the weather change. Also, we have drivers in the back of the pack who have 0 racing miles on their backup cars. You put it all together, and this could be one of the most exciting Napa 300s we have ever seen, and maybe for all the wrong reasons.
Any better? I feel violated now. Yeah, and that still fell out. Well, I don't know.
Now, the Busch Grand National cars are very similar appearing to the cars that will run tomorrow in the Daytona 500. The Winston Cup cars weigh 3,400 pounds with the driver. So the Busch cars weigh without the driver. They're actually a heavier car, and they have a 5-inch shorter wheelbase.
And, of course, there's a difference in the carburation, too. The Winston Cup cars run a 830 CFM carburetor as opposed to 390 for the Busch cars, and that's cubic feet per minute flowing through the carburetor. And there's a difference in the compression, too, 12-to-1 for the Winston Cup and 9.5-to-1 for the Busch cars.
The obvious thing that you see there is the Winston Cup guys can do anything with the shocks and springs that they please, but the Busch Grand National cars, they're regulated as to spring tension and shocks that they use.
Growing up in a racing family can be beneficial for many reasons, as today's young breed is finding out, hanging out with legendary drivers and having great seats for the best seats for the great races. Those benefits are overshadowed by the knowledge and the wisdom that they've gained from their successful family members, fathers and grandfathers. And
for me to sit here and say, oh no, that doesn't help at all would be ridiculous, because they have been in every type of situation that you can imagine, all the way from the mistakes that you make week in and week out and learning from those to winning the Daytona 500.
Little Earnhardt learned from the best, and I got a pretty good teacher in my grandfather and my dad.
Being in a family like that with my dad and everything showed me how racing had to be number one. There was nothing else, because if it was, if you start putting race second, it would show.
Their names on it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just changing that lead a little. Okay, he has it. Right. Okay.
It's there. Yes. Bob Siderman was an Emmy Award-winning audio engineer who brought the sounds of many sports to CBS viewers, including the Daytona 500. Bob passed away a few months ago. In his honor, John Graham, president of the Daytona International Speedway, had a special presentation earlier this week.
Bob Siderman was a pioneer in sports audio, and his innovations are now the industry standard. The event he looked forward to
Stewart makes his day.
If I were him, I'd bundle my home and auto and pick up the real victory, savings.
Are you talking about
Daytona debut, and Jeff Purvis, who finished a close second last year. Curtis Markham and former ARCA champ Andy Hillenberg take provisionals, as does 95 Series champion Johnny Benson.
Take a look at those who failed to qualify for this race. It's a long list. There's not a short track promoter in America that wouldn't like to have this field for a Saturday night race. You can see some great stars in there. Ted Musgrave among them, Steve Grissom, Winston Cup driver, and Freddie Query, who's a champion from last year in another series of NASCAR, Morgan Shepherd, and Mike Stefanik, who won 2 championships last year.
In the field today, we'll have, a nice shot of the infield while we wait and wait and wait and wait some more. Chevrolets, 4 Pontiac, and only 3 Fords. There's speculation that the Ford gets a little too much downforce to really compete with a plate motor on big speedways.
There are 43 cars starting the race today. They'll run 300 miles. That's 120 laps, and they'll be running for a purse of $1.2+ million. Fuel window is somewhere from 54 to 60 laps. The race record was set back in 1978 by Darrell Waltrip at over 162 miles an hour.
Taking a look at Daytona International Speedway, it's 2.5 miles tri-oval, of course. 31 degrees in the turns here, 18 degrees right below us in the tri-oval, 6 degrees in the back straightaway.
Today we're going to ride along with Mike McLaughlin. That's the Gould's Pump in-car camera, the Team 34 Chevrolet. Also, Joe Nemechek, defending champion of this race, will start 10th, carrying the Bell South Mobility. Thank you, Bell South. I have the paper now. Bell South Mobility race cam in his Chevrolet. Mark Martin, the Winn-Dixie race cam in that Jack Roush Ford, number 60. From Alabama, Jimmy Kitchens, the Air Jamaica Vacations cam in that All-Car Motorsports Chevrolet, number 22. Ron Hornaday, the Truck Series champion, the Napa Auto Parts cam is in his Chevrolet.
Okay, wait a little bit.
Almighty God, we thank you for this wonderful world in which we live. We thank you that you're our God. You have created us.
Okay, we're still testing out my microphone here to see if we can get this, whatever the problem is with it, straightened out. We do appreciate all the folks tuning in here to CBS this afternoon for what should be a very exciting race. That's Reverend Hal Marchman doing the invocation.
Spirit, bless all who are here. Shalom and amen.
And 43 cars here today. There are 23 cars.
Okay, there are 43 cars. Okay, we've changed chords now. Let's see if that helps situation. We're at the Daytona International Speedway. Okay, good. Okay.
Hey now. I hear you.
Remover, and he had to have it surgically removed.
Hello, I'm Steve Hanshew, president of Napa Auto Parts. On behalf of more than 6,000 Napa stores across the nation, we broadcast of the Napa Auto Parts 300. Thanks for watching. And
welcome back to Daytona, where it is a beautiful but cool day for racing after showers last night and a cold front moving in. They've been practicing these cars in the 80s all week, but look now, just barely 52 degrees. A lot less humidity, but a stiffer wind, 15 miles an hour from the northwest. Going to be sunny today, and track and car temperature is. Let's have a look.
Starting seventh in the Stanley Jewel Fund.
Okay. Okay, then I'll say it. That's fine.
Starting sixth in the Shorties in Chevrolet. From Nashville, Tennessee, Bobby Hamilton.
Let's have a look at the starting lineup for today's season opener for the Busch Grand National Division. Kenny Schrader, third career pole and the first in this series since '95. Randy LaJoie won this race 2 years ago. Mike McLaughlin again on the front row at Daytona, and Casey Atwood, 18-year-old rookie. Dave Blaney, World of Outlaws champion. Bobby Hamilton Jr., a 22-year-old rookie. Tim Fedewa, a two-time winner last season, and Larry Pearson, twice national champion. Michael Waltrip, twice he's been runner-up here. Joe Nemechek won this race a year
car
ago.
is the one
Burton,
Dad is working with.
And Jason Keller from South
It
Carolina.
is, I believe,
Jeff Green
number
from Tennessee,
36.
And Chuck Bow, the 1990 series champion, returns. Terry Labonte, 3 out of 4 tries. He's finished in the top 4 here. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., 7 wins en route to the series title last year. Todd Bodine, second here 2 years ago. And Matt Kenseth, season runner-up last year. Kevin LePage had a win last year. Mike Dillon, his 4th Daytona start. 4th generation rookie Adam Petty starts next to last year's Rookie of the Year, Andy Santerre. Then it's Bobby Hillen and Phil Parsons in row number 12. Row 13, Lyndon Amick and Kevin Grubb from Virginia. Mark Martin, the all-time series winner, and Jimmy Kitchens from Alabama. Mark Green and ageless Dick Trickle, the senior member of the field at 57. Jeff Finley from ARCA, and Ron Hornaday, the Truck Series champion. Kerry Earnhardt, Dale Jr.'s older brother, and Glenn Allen. Jeff Fuller, the former modified champ, and Elton Sawyer. Jason Jarrett makes his Daytona debut. Jeff Fuller, Brad Loney. Tony Raines, along with Elton Sawyer. Jason Jarrett makes his Daytona
First time
debut.
I saw Richard in person, I was 12 years old.
95 series champion,
Martinsville. We had a modified race, and I saw him through the fence. I swear to God, it was like seeing God. Like, to me, that's how important the early racing was to me anyway. All right, it's a black screen. What is going on? Okay, there we go. But it's hard to explain old school racing and watching.
And we welcome you to Daytona International Speedway and to CBS Sports Live flag-to-flag coverage of the Napa Auto Parts 300. This is the first Busch Grand National race of the season, featuring several Winston Cup stars against the best of the Grand National Division.
And
last year, rookie Dale Earnhardt Jr. Well, he had a
was
little
just
trouble in
so
this event.
humble.
It came on lap 106
that
as he
was
and Dick
what
Trickle got
hit me
together.
the most.
Despite the bumps and the rolls out there, everyone walked away safely. Despite Earnhardt's rough start, he finished the season as the Grand National champion. Yesterday afternoon, in the final practice session for today's race, Earnhardt was involved in another incident. He's with our Dick Berggren. Dick.
Thanks, Greg. Indeed, in that incident, Earnhardt's car was badly enough damaged he had to go to a backup. This is the same car that went flying over the top of Dick Trickle last year. They rolled it off the trailer late yesterday afternoon, got just 11 laps of practice, and because it's a backup, you're going to have to start all the way in the back of the field. How do you pull a good day out of a deal like that, Dale?
Well, we've done it before, so I figure last year we come out of here and didn't know which way was up, so yesterday just probably a minor setback. There's going to be a few other cars back there we can draft with, Jeff Burton and a couple other guys, so we'll just try to take it easy and dodge the first couple wrecks and pick up some spots on pit road. So I figure, that ain't too big a setback. We can come at least through half the field and pass the rest of them on the racetrack and maybe finish up front.
And take it easy and be careful is exactly what all the drivers were told in the drivers' meeting this morning. Let's go to the front of the grid and Ralph Shaheen.
Two-time Busch Grand National champion Randy LaJoie is going to start on the outside of the front row here today. He's a former winner of this event. Now, on the end, the pole is Kenny Schrader, Winston Cup standout. Kenny has been running the high line around this racetrack all week. Is that high groove going to be the way for you to get your speed here today, Kenny?
I don't know, but the car works good at the bottom or the top, and this thing gets slick towards the end of the day. You got to shoot that top, and I like it up there.
Greg, that high line might be the highway for Kenny Schrader to victory lane today.
Ralph and Dick, thank you both. Let's go trackside now, where they are about set to fire up the engines.
Let's get it on! And now, to give the command to start engines for the Napa Auto Parts 300, please welcome today's Grand Marshal from the Green Bay Packers, Mr. Brett Favre.
Gentlemen, let's get it on!
With a name like Biltmore, one would expect gracious hospitality.
One of my favorite parts of the job is to see people enjoy the end product of our labor. For me, hospitality is welcoming someone into your own home, treating them like family.
Even people that you don't know, you give them a glass of wine, they immediately feel welcome.
I think when guests come to Biltmore and take home a bottle of our wine, they're bringing part of our legacy with them.
We have over 40 wines, so there's something for everyone, and surely we can find something that you love here at Biltmore.
If you get it on not once but twice, does it double the action here at Daytona? Welcome everyone to CBS Sports coverage of this day at Daytona. I'm Greg Gumbel. We're pleased to have you with us this afternoon. Coming up, we'll have the Napa Auto Parts 300 Grand National Race, and later the Gatorade 125s, the qualifying races for the Daytona 500, which were held on Thursday. Joining me now is Ken Squire. Good afternoon, Mr. Squire.
Good afternoon, sir. Looks like we've got a good one going here at Daytona today. It's the first of 32 Grand National races this year for $1.2 million. There's a lot at stake for a lot of these young drivers. This is the big break. What they don't want to do is turn it into the big bust, and that's what happened yesterday afternoon. 7 cars crashed in the happy hour. Jeff Bodine said it turned out to be the hell hour. That's his brother's car that was destroyed, one of the 7 in 3 different incidents. And there you see Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car. That
I ran to go to the ladies' room, and to be honest, this is the first time I'm viewing
Ted
this.
Musgrave's cars all had to be replaced, and they'll be going to the back of the field when we get set to run here today.
All right, Ken, let's now go upstairs.
Are they going to replay?
Who will call the race for you? Mike Joy, Ned Jarrett, and Buddy Baker. Mike, let's get it on.
Thanks, Greg, and hello, everyone. This race is about the haves versus the have-nots, and the precious commodity is experience. Rookies Adam Petty and Casey Atwood, their combined age is equal to that of Randy LaJoie, whom they call the old man. LaJoie throws it right back at him. He says, maybe when they're my age, their combined victories will total mine. Ned Jarrett has a grandson as a Daytona rookie here today. How will Jason get that needed experience?
Well, first let me say it's very nervous for him and the other drivers who don't have that experience, including their dad and granddad out there too. And there are 10 drivers in this field who have never been in Daytona, in the Busch race here at Daytona before. So, and some of them have no drafting experience whatsoever. But the only way that they can get that is to get out there among the cars. But one thing that they have to remember.
Another thing is how many family legacies, like we were like 3rd, 4th generation. Now we're getting into 5th generation people that supported this sport like forever. We paid the ticket prices. We paid for the pit passes. Like we would be competitor parking 2 miles away from everyone else and walk in and drag our asses to racetrack to racetrack to racetrack. But we loved it, and we never ever thought at the time how much we were putting in. But I really do think, like, all of that, and if you were part of that, like early, the modifieds where we raced the tour that was 4 nights a week, now it's like 1 night a week, maybe 3 a month. But the camaraderie we built traveling together, we wanted to put on a good show. And I see that in the cars, which is like wicked freaking cool. So that short track passion is still there.
Is to be patient.
Buddy Baker, how do the veteran drivers learn to trust the rookies?
There's only one way. Go out there, do your best, and you gain respect by running the race and not getting in trouble. But even the best drivers get in trouble at Daytona.
Last year, lap 1, 5 cars tangled at the entrance to turn number 3. They included veterans and rookies. Not a lot of room out there.
Well, it's only 50 feet wide, and when you turn 2 cars sideways, you can see the end results.
Doesn't leave a lot of room. That's Joe Bessie up on top of another car. He failed to make the show here this year. They're on the first of 3 pace laps. We'll be back with the start of the Napa Auto Parts 300 from Daytona in a moment.
CBS Sports presentation of the Napa Auto Parts 300 is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. We keep America running. Smooth Busch beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Busch, the official sponsor of the Nascar Busch Series. And by Ford Expedition, built Ford tough.
Okay, Mike's not on yet.
Yes, I am.
Yes, he is. He is.
Yes, sir, I'm here. They're adjusting, what they're doing is adjusting the steering wheel on it, making sure the spokes are lined up right. That's okay, he's back underway.
Okay, Greg, you're going to be able to sit, right? Okay.
Have the cars that wrecked already gone back into the field now, or they pull out after they come back?
No, they normally do it after they get their pit road speed synchronized.
I think they're back there already.
Are they?
Way in the back, aren't they?
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
They normally do it that way, but who knows?
I like that better because they don't stop on the track.
Ken Schrader has his 3rd career Busch Series pole. Randy LaJoie won this race 2 years ago. They're on the front row. Mike McLaughlin starts up front again at Daytona next to Casey Atwood, 18-year-old rookie. Dave Blaney, former World of Outlaws champion, and Bobby Hamilton Jr., a 22-year-old rookie. Tim Vidoa won 2 Busch races last year, and Larry Pearson is a 2-time series champ. Michael Waltrip, twice a runner-up in this race, and Joe Nemechek, the defending winner. Jeff Burton had 3 wins last year. Jason Keller from South Carolina. Jeff Green makes his 6th Daytona start, and Chuck Bound, the 1990 Series champion. Terry Labonte, 3 top 4 finishes and 4 tries in this race, and Dale Earnhardt Jr., 7 wins in the championship last year. Todd Bodine, 2nd here 2 years ago, and Matt Kenseth, last year's point standing runner-up. Kevin LePage had a win last year, and Mike Dillon makes his 4th Daytona start. Adam Petty is the 4th-generation driver to carry that name into a big race at Daytona, next to last year's Rookie of the Year, Andy Santerre. Then it's Bobby Hillin and Phil Parsons in row 12. Lyndon Amick and Kevin Grubb in the 13th row. Mark Martin, the all-time Busch Series winner with Jimmy Kitchens. Mark Green and ageless Dick Trickle, the dean of the field at 57. Jeff Finley and Truck Series champ Ron Hornaday. Kerry Earnhardt, Dale Jr.'s older brother, and Glenn Allen. Modified champ Jeff Fuller and Brad Loney from Iowa. Tony Raines, ASA champ, and Elton Sawyer. Rookie Jason Jarrett. Jeff Purvis, close second last year. Curtis Markham and Andy Hillenberg, former ARCA champ. And the past champions provisional to Johnny Benson returns for the day to Base Motorsports.
There were 24 drivers who failed to qualify for this, and you look at that list of names, there's not a short track promoter in America that would not like to have this field and number of drivers in his field on a Saturday night. You see Ted Musgrave there, Lance Hooper, West Coast great. Even Mike Stefanik, who was a 2-time champion in the modified and the Busch North Series, didn't make it.
One lap to go.
Looking at the manufacturer's breakdown, you notice there are 36 Chevrolets in the field today, 4 Pontiacs, 3 Fords. The reason there's not many Fords in there with the restrictor plate races, they seem to have a little too much drag and downforce on the car to really be competitive. Chevrolet seems to be the favorite as far as what people want to start the race with.
There are 43 cars in the field today. They'll run 300 miles. That's 120 laps on this track, and they run for their biggest purse ever, almost $1.3 million. They can go from 54 to 60 laps on a tank of fuel. The race record was set back in 1978 by Darrell Waltrip at over 162 miles an hour.
Looking at this beautiful racetrack here, the Daytona Speedway, you notice it's 2.5 miles tri-oval. The banking in the corners is 31 degrees. Right below us in the tri-oval here, 18 degrees. 6 degrees of banking and the back straightaway.
We're going to ride with Mike McLaughlin in the Team 34 Racing Chevrolet, the Gould's Pumps Cam. He'll start in 3rd position. Also Joe Nemechek, the defending winner of this event, his Bell South mobility camera in his Chevrolet. Mark Martin, the all-time winner in this series, starts way back in 27. That's the Winn-Dixie onboard camera. Jimmy Kitchens from Alabama, the Air Jamaica Vacations cam in his all-car Chevrolet. Truck Series champ Ron Hornaday, the Napa Auto Parts camera in that Dale Earnhardt-owned Chevrolet. Kerry Earnhardt in the Channel Lock Chevrolet has one of our CBS race cams today. And Elton Sawyer with the Lysol onboard camera in the Aiken Sutton Chevy. Let's meet the 3rd member of our CBS pit crew today, Bill Stevens.
Well, Mike, if there's one word that would describe the overwhelming mood in the garages this morning, it would have to be apprehension. We talked about the drivers in the field without a lot of experience. We talked about the weather changes that change the personality of the racetrack. And we know that there are guys in the back of the field in backup cars with 0 racing miles on them. Put them all together, this could be the most exciting Napa 300 we've ever seen, but maybe for the wrong reasons.
King Richard Petty, 7-time Daytona 500 winner, looking on as his grandson makes his Daytona Busch Series debut. Another granddad up here in the booth, Ned Jarrett, watching his grandson make his Daytona Busch debut. Last year, this race did not get one complete lap before a big crash. Here we go. We're under green in the Napa 300.
To get up to full speed, and you see somebody's in trouble there. That's Dave Blaney.
Bit of fluid coming from the back of his Bill Davis owned Pontiac, and he's going to come pit side. Tough break for the former World of Outlaws sprint car champ.
He was one of the fastest cars all week during practice, had a good qualifying effort, but unfortunately he's slowing down now as they come around for the first lap.
Here's where that momentum comes into play. Some cars come up to speed easier than others, and they get a bit 3 wide coming down here for lap 1.
A lot of tight racing as they head into turn 1. Still 2 abreast as we go in there. Don't see any 3 wide there. That's probably good.
Yeah, it's a little early in the race. They will be 3 wide before we do another 4 or 5 laps. Everybody right now being very cautious. They did have problems in practice here yesterday. That usually lasts about 10 laps into the race.
Well, to see the 3rd and 4th place car running side by side, that that's allowing the first 2 cars to pull away.
Here we have it, 3 wide down the back straightaway.
One car stuck in the middle, losing the draft, squeezing out for the middle of that 7. The breakaway is Randy LaJoie, winner of this race 2 years ago, twice series champion, and he has lined up with him Ken Schrader, the pole sitter, number 15. Now that pack has gone single file. Mike McLaughlin and the rest of the field beginning to catch them up here.
Todd Bodine has already knocked off about 7 spots. He and Trickley and Musgrave and Glenn Allen and Chuck Bound, they have not turned a lap in those cars which they're driving after that crash yesterday in that final moment of happy hour. Mike?
They're going to have to pick their way to the front, Ken, and as you look at that rush hour traffic, you can see it's not going to be easy.
But there is a big draft being opened up in front of them, but there's not much room to do a lot of passing.
You're riding with Ron Hornaday, and just in front of him, of course, Mark Martin. You can see the cars moving around. They head off turn 4. They'll bounce right there. You can see these cars are not very stable as they go into the dogleg here. You can see the back of the car starting to jump around just a little bit.
That's Kevin LePage on the left of your screen as we look at our Circuit City telemetry from Ron Hornaday's car. Hitting 7,000 RPM.
Yeah, he's only losing about 200 to 300 RPM. Now 400 in the corners. You can see he's running about 180 miles an hour in that part of the racetrack.
Man, those cars really dance out there. They look pretty stable from up here in the tower, but you get on board and they're anything but.
They do bounce around quite a bit, and the air helps them to do that. Of course, you know, the pavement is almost impossible to pave a 31-degree banking and make it smooth, but the air is what makes them bounce around more than anything else, just like this situation.
That multicolored, rainbow-colored car is Adam Petty, number 45, one of the rookies, 10 of them in this race. Now, as you look at our CBS running order in the upper left of your screen, you see in red Andy Santerre or Adam Petty. That means he has lost 1 or more positions since the last time by. A driver displayed in green has gained 1 or more positions.
Jason Keller has a problem, car number 57.
If I was to speculate, I would say right now he is having an oil-related problem because it's a gray smoke as you see coming out of the back of the car there.
And, Buddy, that's right in the middle of the field, and those drivers behind him are a little bit anxious as they see that smoke come up. Don't know where it's coming from, if it's fluid associated with it or not, but he's still running pretty good.
I will tell you, it's off the right-hand corner of the car, and the exhaust, we have one out the right side, one out the left. It looks like it might be coming from the center part of the car. I can't really tell what it is.
They are not black flagging Keller. They're allowing him to continue until they assess the problem. But now the pack is trying to work their way past him on the high side.
And you can see it's worse in the corner. I believe that's a tire run.
Yep.
I can tell you one thing. He won't be out there very long before NASCAR comes in and makes him adjust to whatever the problem is, because that's pretty serious there. And you can imagine at 190 miles an hour coming up behind that car and it's smoking like that.
Keller has probably bumped side to side with another car and pushed a fender in against the tire, so that when it loads the suspension in the corner, that's when you see more of that smoke. Either it'll wear away and go away, or the tire might.
Yeah, and that's the big concern. The tire might go, and certainly if you have the air to go out of a tire on this racetrack at these speeds, that's not a good situation.
He's going to pit, and that's a wise move. Jeff Purvis has come from 40th to 20th in 5 laps. That is the first time that Randy LaJoie has led since he won at Myrtle Beach last July. So that's LaJoie driving for James Finch. He is part of a 2-car team with Jeff Purvis for Finch out of Phoenix City, Alabama, leaving Base Motorsports. Coming here today, Tony.
Yeah, and you see the car leading the race here is 9. They don't even have a sponsor on that car, but I tell you what, Randy LaJoie will be a threat all year long for the championship.
Riding on board with Mike McLaughlin, that Gould's Pumps cam. And look on the right corner of your screen. There is a message there. It's intended for Sarah Murphy in Elmira, New York. Stephen, whose dad is one of the car owners of this machine, wants to know if you'll marry him. 190 mile an hour proposal.
Okay, that ought to get the message across.
You see Joe Nemechek in the 87 there looking on the high side, starting to move around on the racetrack, looking for a better line where he can make a move towards the front. Great run right now.
Tomorrow is Valentine's Day after all. Let's go to the garage and Ralph Shaheen.
And a frustrated Dave Blaney is unstrapping himself out of his race car. Dave, what happened to the engine?
Oh, I don't know. Just come apart, I guess. This thing was, it was awesome all week, the engine in this thing. I got to give those guys credit back to the motor shop. They did a great job and had us right in the front and contending for this thing. Who knows?
Boy, Mike, the former World of Outlaw Sprint Car champ, really did have a great week. He started the race off 5th today. He's already parked, not even breaking into a sweat.
Let me correct one thing on the Randy LaJoie car. He's driving for James Finch. Last year, Jeff Purvis drove for James Finch. He took the sponsor and went over to the Gary Bechtel team for 1999. They are not teammates. Of the top 25 starters in this race, 18 of those cars either have a different driver, sponsor, crew chief, alignment, or paint job. So it is a little confusing. My error. Here at Daytona, 8 laps complete. Randy LaJoie leading, pole sitter Kenny Schrader.
Am I using my restrictor plate a little better today?
Good mix. Good mix.
I just kind of rolled back on the intensity a little bit today.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Ralph.
It's really starting to warm up down here. Just so you know, the wind still blows at a pretty crisp little bit, but when it's not windy, the sun is real strong.
Check and see why Nemechek's running so well. They've done something to that car. I mean, he's flying.
Okay.
He's already to 4th.
Yep.
And he is
look at Mark.
Yeah, Mark coming up.
Guys, Mark Martin from 27th to 9th. Hi, Bergie.
Hi, mid-70s based on our radar.
Whoa.
It's definitely warmed up here.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, the guys that thought it was going to be a cold day are going to be in trouble.
Now tomorrow I'm going to make another comeback.
Got a lot of experience here. They only won a couple of larger races here. And a lot of
Pam, watch your ears. We're going to change batteries.
Completed Daytona. Randy LaJoie leads Kenny Schrader and Mike McLaughlin. And the word is in from Elmira, New York. Sarah said yes. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Okay.
All right.
Congratulations.
And 5 of those fellas have taken off.
Yes, they have. They've been running single file there, and that's the way to do it. Hook up in a draft. 5 cars can run faster than one by itself, and certainly a lot faster than a couple of cars running side by side, so they've been able to pull well.
Yeah, and the reason for that is the air comes over that front car, and as long as they're in the line there, it's like a big freight train going through the air. If they double up, it's like trying to get 2 freight trains through there at the same time, and it just creates a lot of turbulence.
And of note, all 5 of those are veteran drivers. The front of that pack, number 1 is Randy LaJoie, 15, the pole sitter Kenny Schrader, 34, Mike McLaughlin, 87, last year's winner, Joe Nemechek, and 32, Jeff Green. That's the 5-car breakaway at the front of the field. Leading the second pack. What a school's in for Casey Atwood, rookie driver from Nashville, Tennessee. And he is leading that pack.
Doing a great job. He's running a good line around the racetrack. And apparently the drivers behind him were very content to run along there with him. That's Tim Fedowa running right behind him, who has a lot of experience on this track.
That's Atwood, number 27, then Fedowa. The 3rd car in that line is Mark Martin.
Mark Martin already moved up to 8th spot, and his car is really flying through traffic. He knows so much about drafting. He uses everything on the racetrack to his advantage.
Mark Martin started 27th. He has climbed to 8th place. Jeff Purvis started 40th. He's come to 15th. And Brad Loney started 36th. He's up to 18th spot in climbing in only his 10th series start.
Buddy, you mentioned Mark Martin coming up through there, and of course he's one of those 3 drivers in a Ford here today. They don't qualify very well, but it'll race well, as he's proving right there. The downforce that he has that maybe keeps him from running fast in qualifying might help him in the race.
Ned, you're exactly right. And that's one thing everybody's been talking about all week. After they run the tires 8, 10, 15 laps, they lose a little bit of grip in the corners. Cars that really handle well will do well.
In the middle of the back straightaway, Kenny Schrader had a look underneath Randy LaJoy, and that field just kind of uncoiled like a snake as they worked back and forth, but they went up into turn 3 single file once again.
And you know, just a little move like that has let that second pack kept right up to them now. In a moment, Casey Atwood is going to be on the back bumper of the 32 car, Jeff Green.
The 44 car there, just in front of him is Purvis in the 4 car. Just behind him, Terry Labonte. And we know he knows how to draft and move up through the crowd.
Purvis 16th after starting 40th. Labonte started 15th. He's lost 2 spots. You saw Andy Hillenberg has also gained a lot of ground since the start of this race. He was talking with A.J. Foyt during pre-race, getting a few tips from the 72 500 winner, Daytona 500 that is.
And that 31 up there, no, that is not Mike Skinner. That is Ron Hornaday in the 31.
From out of the Winston West and Craftsman Truck Series of NASCAR, Hornaday up to 15th position. And just as you said, that 5-car breakaway, that's now a 12-car lead draft.
We're still running single file, but somebody will get anxious in a moment and say, hey, I can run faster this, and he'll try to make a pass.
Hornaday and Purvis have been battling for the last 6 laps here, buddy, side by side.
Yeah, you can see the outside line. Wow, we're going to go to the lead here. Schrader takes the lead away from Randy LaJoy.
Kenny Schrader to the inside now. LaJoy slips in. Mike McLaughlin gives him a little room to settle in. Was unable to follow Schrader to the front spot.
Sometimes a guy leading for a while will give that second place car a break and let him run a few laps to cool his motor back down, because when you tuck right up under the lead car, you tend to get more water temperature build up, so they'll switch back and forth if they're working together.
13-car train. Kenny Schrader pulling it along. Kevin Grubb's another man on the move. He's in that train. He's 10th after starting 26th in his first ride with the Clarence Brewer team.
And you can see on your screen there that some cars are running over, most of them are running over 190 miles an hour. Every once in a while you'll see one there, 189. Well, it just depends on how they are in the draft, who they might be picking up on, or somebody maybe holding them back a little bit. And that's the variation of the speeds that you see there.
Grainger knows that if you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, you go to great lengths.
One car out of the race, Dave Blaney. Jason Keller spent a while on pit road with the hood up. Here they come off turn 4 to complete 18 laps. 3rd and 4th place, Mike McLaughlin. Joe Nemechek. Front to back to front.
I love that shot. How cool is that? I mean, you can see the whole action all the way. I mean, the battles are going on all around the racetrack. I love this shot.
Ralph Shaheen.
Mike, I've had an opportunity to check in on Mark Martin and Joe Nemechek. Both cars have radioed in and said they're starting to see pushes not only in their own car, but in their competitors. Now, I did talk to Brian Patty, crew chief for Joe Nemechek. He said, we started our car off a little bit loose. As we get into the later stages of this run of fuel, it should come back around and should tighten up on him. It should be just right. Dick Berggren?
As you're watching this pack come through, keep an eye on the yellow number 36 of Tim Fedewa. Just came onto your screen. That is one of the cars that was involved in one of those big wrecks yesterday afternoon in the last practice session. Of all the cars that were involved, and there were 8 of them, that's the only car that didn't have to go to a backup. The crew beat on the sheet metal and pushed it out as best they could. Now realize usually these cars are set up so the sheet metal is within a thousandth or two of where it's really supposed to be. This is within about a hammerhead or 2 of where it's supposed to be. And they didn't know how it was going to work. It's working just fine.
Dick, one thing that's really changed is the weather. Last night rain, very cool this morning. Now it's warming up. What's that going to mean?
Well, it's basically going to mean, Mike, that the guys who bet on a cold day today are going to have problems, and they're going to have to adjust their car on the pit stop. Weather really does have quite an effect on the way these race cars handle.
Pole Center, Kenny Schrader is back at the front of the field. Randy LaJoie runs in second. Mike McLaughlin is third. Joe Nemechek, the defending winner, fourth. Jeff Green completes the top 5 in this 13-car lead draft. CBS Sports coverage of the Napa Auto Parts 300 will continue after this message and a word from your local CBS station.
If we have to move that way, we're going to go that way. If we have to go that way very far, we're going to go through that gate.
Okay, I'm going to do some racing here. I'm tired of it.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, the highest rookie right now is Atwood in 6th.
You know, that kid's fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Talking to him and looking at him. A young Fireball.
Really?
Yep. He sure does. You too? I thought so. I didn't think. I just walked by him and thought that for some strange reason. Okay. And he drives like him too. First time he went to Rockingham, he qualified in the top 10. Oh, he's in there real big, yeah. Meanwhile, back in the jungle,
things are pretty well settled down.
You got some good racing back in there, but
yep. That third pack has some real good battling.
That's where
yeah,
Petty and all that bunch.
Yep.
Watch them, they'll be all sorted out.
And that's Santerre, Sawyer, and Petty.
Yeah.
Larry Pearson's back in that pack.
Yeah.
I'm surprised with that.
That's him in the back.
Thank you. Complete, caution-free thus far. A stern talking to at the drivers' meeting, and the action of yesterday's last practice may have tempered the opening laps of this race just a bit. Kenny Schrader leads Randy LaJoie and Mike McLaughlin, all proven commodities in this Busch Grand National Series, but they are side by side back in the field. That's Matt Kenseth, last year's runner-up, the yellow and black car, taking a spot away.
And that's Phil Parsons just behind him in the 10 there, and you can see he knows it's early in the race, and he's not handling just like he wants to, so he just moved over and let him go. Phil has a lot of experience here.
Kenseth takes over 12th place, and there's Ron Hornaday working the bottom of the racetrack now against Parsons.
And his car working very well. Look at him with his chute on. Up in front of him.
One car in the air. Spins around in that big smoke cloud. There are more cars wrecking behind them. Oh, and Waltrip's car had come to a stop and got pounded. Andy Santerre. Oh, last year's Rookie of the Year from Maine. That's Santerre's number 47 that is wrecked. Here is Michael Waltrip's car. And that is Waltrip's car was stopped when it got hit, and it got slammed into by a third machine. Jeff Purvis is involved. There is Purvis.
There's Purvis' car, number 4.
Ned, those cars trailing the play in that cloud of smoke. Everybody checked up. And,
you can see the drivers moving around. That's always a good sight to see. That's Michael Waltrip. He's got his left hand out. He's coming out against the wall there.
Now there's a window in the right side of the car, which makes getting out of that side difficult. That in the roll cage. Michael's going to wait for a little help.
You can see him getting his breath back there. Boy, I tell you, that's a hard lick he took.
Michael drives his own car in this series.
Fireman just behind him, climbing up on the wall there, just in case.
After the initial spin, what likely happened is as cars begin to hit the brakes and check up, the cars behind them can't stop quickly enough
not running 190 miles an hour. You can't stop very quickly. And, of course, there was a lot of smoke there. Didn't know which way to go. There's Jeff Purvis out looking over his car. That left front, you can see the tremendous amount of damage on it. And here's Andy Santerre, a lot of damage on his car.
Cherryfield main driver has a new crew chief, Mike Gricci, owner of the championship car in the Busch North Series the last 2 years.
I saw Elton Sawyer just go by with a lot of damage to the 98 car also on the left front corner. So
there's the hood up on Elton Sawyer's car. The aerodynamics destroyed, but he'll make it around and be able to come back out, and he'll need to, because this is the first race counting toward the 1999 championship in the Busch Grand National Series. Andy Hillenberg has made a pit stop.
And the whole field is coming in now for pit stops as we see the MBNA car going out, and here comes the field.
notice Mark Green looked like he might have a right front flat as he was going down the back straightaway also just then.
Bill Stevens.
Randy LaJoie is in. He'll take on 4 tires. I just spoke to Mark Reno, the crew chief. This is one of the teams that had very little trouble with the new shock absorbers rules this year, but the car is tight in the early stages of the race. They're going to take a couple of rounds of wedge out of the chassis as well, give him fuel, and get him back onto the fast break. To Dick Brook.
Kenny Schrader is nearing the conclusion of a 4-tire change. It's all done and over with, but several cars have gotten out of the pits ahead of Schrader, who had been leading until this point.
Update on Andy Santerre, whose car is stopped there in the back straightaway. He is still in the car, but he is talking with the rescue workers. He appears to have injured his leg, and they are going to take Santerre to the care center. Pit action continues. Most of these are 4-tire changes.
And I'm sure there were a lot of drivers that were anxious to get into the pits, Mike, and make some adjustments on their cars. And that car right there, the number 95 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. is one of them. He had ready to drop back in the field.
Bill Stevens.
One of the problems we talked with crew chiefs this week was the experience of the crews themselves as they're working on the cars. Casey Atwood was leaving the pit. A tire got wedged underneath the front of that car, probably damaging the valance. They will have to assess that and maybe bring them back in again.
Or there's no probably to it, Bill. That is all pushed in.
Absolutely, and that'll affect that car greatly at these types of speeds here. The front will try to lift.
Dick Berggren.
Well, at this end, but up pit road, Bobby Hamilton's car is stuck, and he's just not moving. The car is just sitting on pit road, going nowhere right now.
Hamilton had dropped back in the field. I don't know if it's something about the handling of the car or whatnot. He started up near the front, but he had dropped back about 30th position before this caution came out, so they're doing major work on that car.
Hamilton now pulls away, and he'll come back out. Now there's Andy Santerre. You can see that he has hurt his leg, but he's sitting up talking to everybody, and he is otherwise okay as he is helped into the ambulance for the ride to the care center.
You're exactly right. You can see him favoring his right leg there. There's Michael Waltrip there helping him up. He's just getting all the cobwebs out of his head. He seems to be under power there and not limping or anything.
Fortunately, everybody involved is, for the most part, okay. Let's show you what happened here. Is first Michael Waltrip got turned around in the back straightaway, number 21.
He might have had a little bit of help there. It looked like Kenseth might have got into the back. You see the car trying to get up. Those flaps on the roof there help get it back down. That keeps the car from flying backwards and getting and turning over back there.
But look at all of this smoke, and those drivers coming in there, they can't see where they're going, and they, as Mike said, they're slowing down, and then they start hitting each other and further intensifying the wreck.
Let's show you a different angle of it.
There they're coming off at turn 2, and you can see the yellow car of Kansas, and you see those roof flaps that Buddy mentioned there. Keeps the car down on the ground, but look at all that smoke.
Adam Petty gets past. Now Michael Waltrip sitting and looking.
Just hoping nobody will hit him.
Well, and he knows there's a lot of trouble behind him because he can see them coming.
Yeah, he's facing them there.
Hillenberg slides by. Now watch, I believe it's Andy Santerre. It is who piles into Waltrip. It's Andy Santerre, and that's how Santerre's leg got injured. And that side-on slide into Michael Waltrip. Let's watch and listen from Elton Sawyer. This is from Jimmy Kitchen's car.
He said, I made it through there, but I'm down on the grass.
Another look from the back straightaway. As Matt Kenseth turns Michael Waltrip around, and here they all come.
Boy, Ron Hornaday in the 31 just did get by there.
And the more cars that start sliding their wheels and creating smoke, the more it gets involved in it.
You know, Nance, that could have been twice as bad, though. Just now, they have the back straightaway about half paved there. A long time ago, that was all grass on the inside.
We're under the first caution of the day for a multi-car crash in the back straightaway. 28 laps are complete here at Daytona. See Michael Waltrip's car, Andy Santerre, last year's Rookie of the Year, Andy Hillenberg.
He had no drafting partner whatsoever, and the fact that they had brand new tires on these cars let them stay right down the bottom of the racetrack.
Look at this, Mike. We talked about Forrest being good as the racetrack gets slick. He's moved all the way up there. He made a run on the inside by himself. That car might be good, but it's not good enough without help.
Well, and you wonder about that two-tire change, how much that might have hurt Mark Martin here, too. And
well, he was looking for track position right now to get up with the front runners and maybe get away from some of the cars that are moving around on the racetrack a little too much.
He's right behind Brad Loney, the Iowa Sprint Car racer, making only his 10th Busch Grand National start. I believe it's his second trip to Daytona for Loney. He's up there in that lead pack. Now a little further back, there's a lot of position swapping going on here. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is up to 16th after starting this race in the back.
Well, Kenseth got very close there in the 17 cars. He came off with turn 4. A lot of them getting very close, but some contact made. There he is. He's the yellow car right there.
Just watching Joe Nemechek, I mean, he moved all the way up to second place, but that car is not up to full song as it was before he made his pit stop. He might have adjusted and not got his car just exactly like he wanted.
And he's drifted into this second pack of cars. Nemechek has dropped back just a little bit. Dick Berger?
Part of Nemechek's problem for sure this year is that there is a new set of rules for both shock absorbers and springs. Last year, he won this race with very soft shock absorbers, very soft springs that tucked the spoiler down out of the air. His crew wondered how he could even hang on to it. The new rules wouldn't let him run that setup, and they've been searching ever since they came to Daytona for something that would work as well as it did in 1998. They haven't found it yet. To Ralph.
Dick, Kenny Schrader thinks he found it for qualifying. The rule says 360 pounds on your spring rate. Doesn't say anything about the length of the spring. So when they came to qualifying, Schrader put a really tall spring in the right rear and a really short spring in the left rear. What that did was it faked the car out, made the car think it was running softer, tucked that rear end down out of the air, all the air flowed over that spoiler. Schrader went fast enough to get on the pole. Pretty creative, don't you think?
There's as much ingenuity in that garage area as you'll find at Cape Canaveral.
I was just picking to say, leave them alone just a little bit, they'll find an answer.
Schrader comes to the line, the leader, 36 laps complete in that number 15 Chevrolet. Right behind him, Randy LaJoie looking for his second win in this race in 3 years. And up to third, Jeff Green. Didn't make the Daytona 500 in Bud Moore's car, but he's having a strong run this afternoon. Mike McLaughlin is fourth. Brad Loney, who came out of sprint cars to star in the ASA, American Speed Association, is fifth. And Mark Martin's Ford is sixth.
Yes, and Jeff Green's making a statement here. You know, he used to drive for Earnhardt a couple of years back and was replaced in the ride. And right now, Jeff Green's proving to the world, hey, I can run with anyone.
A little further back, seventh is Ron Hornaday. Eighth, Joe Nemechek. Ninth is Mike Dillon, and Lyndon Amick, who came out of the Dash Series of NASCAR, is up to 10th. Change at 11th spot. Terry Labonte is moving up. At 12th, Todd Bodine in that backup car. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is up to 13th after having to start his backup car in the back of the field. There is Earnhardt Jr., left side of your screen, and at number 3, the defending series champion.
Todd Bodine in the car number 66 falls in behind him. as a couple of cars draft up. Now that 57 car of Jason Keller, he is 5 laps down.
Well, he was the car early in the show that had the tire rub, and he really lost a lot of track position and everything, waiting to see what was going to happen on that right rear corner.
And we'll have a report there might be a tire rub on the car number 37. That car, of course, driven by Kevin Grubb. We'll keep an eye on that.
Another of the young guns, Adam Petty, rookie. He's in 15th position. As the battle for the lead heats up, here goes to the high side, Randy LaJoie.
You can see the regulars on the Busch Grand National Tour are working with Randy LaJoie, trying to catch the 15 of Kenny Schrader. They'll make a move on him before too long, I think.
Kenny Schrader's last Busch Grand National win was in 1994 at the Talladega Superspeedway. There was a 10-car scramble on the final lap. Schrader made it to the line first for his second series win. Mike McLaughlin. Our Circuit City onboard telemetry shows him running about 192 miles an hour.
Yeah.
6,800 RPM.
Now, the incredible part is he goes off into turn 1. You'll see the RPM jump just a little bit. What happened there is the back of the car actually just got unsprung, and it just spun the wheels for a second there. About 68 to 7,000 is where they turn most of the way around the racetrack.
He's looking to the inside of Jeff Green. Now he eases back up in line on the back straightaway. Ned, was he looking for a move or just looking to breathe the car, do you think?
It could have been either, Mike, but he made a hand signal there a moment ago as if, hey, I want you to come and go with me, but it didn't quite work that time. He needed whoever's running behind him there, which is Brad Loney. Apparently didn't get the signal, or just, wasn't best enough to capitalize on the situation.
39 laps complete in the Napa Auto Parts 300. Ken Schrader leads Randy LaJoie. We'll be back to Daytona after this. He's coming.
Down here talking to Harold, crew chief for Green. They're using the terminology cautiously aggressive.
That's it.
Oh, good.
All right, they're using the term cautiously aggressive, which is kind of interesting how he explains it. Maybe we have him explain that for us.
Earnhardt Jr. is on the move.
Huh? No, I was going to have him explain it for us.
Yeah, they're on their way.
Of course they'll work together. That's part of what teammates are about.
Right behind them is Johnny Benson, who had to use the Champions Provisional to get into this field. And getting a lesson on drafting at Daytona from Benson is young Adam Petty, 4th generation NASCAR driver. Let's give you another look at what happened to Martin Martin.
To get that thing back across the racetrack and down to the inside out of everybody else's way and not getting hit.
Buddy, racing is a contact sport.
You better believe it. And every time that happens, I've been there, done that. When I hear that noise, I automatically duck to the left.
49 laps complete next time by.
There's the leader, Randy LaJoie.
Now right with him come Jeff Green, Joe Nemechek, and Mike McLaughlin. Let's go to Dick Bergeron with this race's pole sitter.
And he's out of the car. Kenny Schrader, what happened?
We broke the rear end gear. I'm telling you, you know, a restrictor plate race, you wouldn't think it'd happen like that, but I just feel sorry for the guys on the Oakwood team and sorry for the Cartford Oakwood people because that thing was running, but it didn't run all day.
And that's the key. It's got to run all day. To Bill Stevens.
I'm with Mark Reno, crew chief of the driver who is now leading the race, Randy LaJoy. You were loose in the beginning. It looks like the car responded to the chassis changes in the pit stop.
Yeah, we've got it about halfway where we want it. We'll do one more adjustment on the last stop. We're really...
He just seems to be right now the car to beat. What do you think?
Okay, I just found out Richard is not expected.
Tim, do I stay here? Do I go back to...
Fifth straight time he started among the front two rows.
Right in front of him is the...
Nemechek, trouble, Ned?
Yes, into the pits.
There's smoke coming out of the back of that car.
Second try to win this race in a consecutive mode. Last year's champion, Joe Nemechek, radioed the crew. I think it might have blown up.
And he hits behind the wall and out of the race.
Schrader, Mark Martin, Michael Waltrip, Jeff Purvis, and now Joe Nemechek are among the favorites who are out of it here at Daytona. 70 laps complete. Randy LaJoy, the leader. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the series champion, has now climbed to second place.
The 44, Terry Lamont. Man, I'm going to tell you, he started 15th, and he just seems to be right now the car to beat. What do you think?
Okay, I just found out Richard is not expected down here until maybe later in the race, depending on how Adam's doing.
Adam Petty.
I haven't seen him all day down here.
That Adam Petty guy, I'm going to tell you what, right now, that kid's flying too.
I'm going to try to get Eddie Lowry on.
Bill, you got the 44, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm down here in the 3.
Well, alrighty then. We're neighbors, sort of.
And Dick is with Joe Nemechek.
No sign of Dale down here, by the way.
Up here in the right front. It's got the wall a little bit.
Eric?
I'll check. Hang on.
Could I get in on the inner squabble between Winston Cup and Grand National? How it's going today? Looks like... Okay, when you get a chance.
36.
Going into 3.
Okay.
Okay. That changes it.
Yep.
Okay.
Tim, do I stay here? Do I go back to pit road?
Okay, thank you. Okay.
We need to change and put you in the middle of Sunday. I'm frustrated as I can be right now. I'll talk to you later. Okay?
Has come out here at Daytona on lap 73, third time today. And this time it's Tim Fedowa who found trouble on the back straightaway toward the entrance of turn number 3. Fedowa is limping that car around, trying to get it to the pits as fast as he can.
Well, he's right,
yellow car.
Right here, coming out of the pack, trying to make a pass down on the inside. Oh, no, that was the wrong yellow car. He was back further in there and came out of the pack up against the outside wall and then spins the wrong way. But fortunately, no one hits him, but he does hit the wall pretty hard.
Well, that spoiler and trunk lid kicked up in the air. That car will be hard to drive, even if they can repair it mechanically. Let's show you from Jimmy Kitchen's car.
Something must have happened to that car.
Looked like smoke from the left rear of Fedowa's car. Might have cut down that tire and sent him into the wall. The track bar broke. That's the pannered rod that runs across the rear end.
Right, that's a stabilizer bar to keep the rear end house in line, and it may have broken, and that thing just turned right on the back straightaway there.
Of course, that's the car that he wrecked here yesterday in practice, and they rebuilt it.
Well, the story we built at the top of the day about rookies lacking experience, Ned, it's not the rookies who've been in trouble today.
No, it really hasn't been, Mike. They've done a very good job out here so far, but the veterans are the ones that are really having the problem.
And, Buddy, I'm impressed with how rookies like Casey Atwood and Adam Petty have quickly become accepted by the veteran drivers as they make alliances on the racetrack.
There's no question about it. Adam Petty's running a premier race. I've never seen anybody adapt to this racetrack like he has this quick.
Route team.
Mike, they brought Dale Earnhardt Jr. in. They did nothing but clean the grill and put fuel in the car. Now Jeff Green is in. They're going to put tires and fuel on this car to Bill Stevens.
Terry Labonte just came in. They changed their minds on the pit stop. Originally, it was for gas only. Then they decided to go right side tires. Already the strategy is beginning to get a little bit more complicated. Dick Berggren.
With Joe Nemechek, did blow up?
Something broke in the motor. Tough break for our whole Bell South Mobility and the Kia team. We had a good, awesome car. This car won both races last year, and Carl Wagner's doing the motors. Awesome power. Didn't have anything for Randy ourselves, but Little Earnhardt and I were getting teamed up, and we were fixing to put a move on them, and all of a sudden in 3 and 4 there's something just filled the car up with smoke.
And they shuffled a lot of motors. This was the qualifying engine. Mike Joy?
Looks like Dale Earnhardt Jr. led the chase off pit road after this round of stops, and now on fuel, everyone can go the distance to the finish from here. Let's join Greg Gumbel down above Victory Lane.
All right, Mike, thank you. While we run under the third caution of the day, we'd like to take a moment to tell you about Bob Siderman. Bob Siderman was an Emmy Award-winning audio engineer who brought the sounds of many sports to CBS viewers, including the Daytona 500. Bob passed away a few months ago. In his honor, John Graham, president of Daytona International Speedway, had a special presentation earlier this week.
Bob Siderman was a pioneer in sports audio, and his innovations are now the industry standard. The event he looked forward to the most and considered his biggest challenge was the Daytona 500. Bob's audio work on this race was enjoyed by millions upon millions of viewers since CBS first telecast the Daytona 500 in 1979. He captured all of the sounds of NASCAR, from the starting command to the roar of the race, from the frenzies on pit road to the celebrations in Victory Lane. He leaves a legacy of total dedication to the great American race. I'm proud to announce that the new CBS Daytona International Speedway broadcast studio, located above Daytona's Victory Lane, is dedicated to the memory of Bob Siderman.
Bob's wife, Andrea, was unable to attend the ceremony, but is thankful for the loving way that her husband will always be remembered.
In thanking you, I'd like to say that it was Bob's desire to bring to the home viewers the excitement of racing, not just to be a visual medium, but with excitement built through sound. He proudly accepted 3 Emmys for racing audio throughout the 20 years of his involvement with the Daytona 500. His own high standards and expectations were to make each year surpass that of the year before. It is with great pride that I accept this studio dedication for my husband. I thank you and know he will forever be listening.
There are over 140 CBS people that work on this telecast here at Daytona. It's an immense production. You only get to meet half a dozen or so of us on Saturdays and Sundays, but there are a lot of folks like Bob Siderman who make this show what it is, and he was one of the best. Update on Andy Santerre, last year's Rookie of the Year. He has a fracture in his lower right leg. Will be flown to Harrisburg, North Carolina, and home for surgery. His wife, Sue, says that Andy is expected to be out of the series for 6 months.
Oh, that's too bad. He is such a great race driver and was looking forward to this year so much after his rookie year last year, winning Rookie of the Year honors.
Let's get set for the restart, Ned. Lyndon Amick did not pit under that caution flag, and he is the leader.
Trouble on the start. He didn't get a good start. Took Earnhardt with him squared away in time. Other cars still spinning and sliding down there.
Mike McLaughlin made contact with Earnhardt in the grass. He's got damage to his car.
And that's Ron Hornaday. The front of his Chevrolet is destroyed.
And as you were saying, Lyndon Amick did not pit, and he just didn't come up to speed. Everybody else was expecting it. Here's Todd Bodine, a lot of damage on his car.
And dejection in the pits of the national champion Earnhardt Jr. There's Phil Parsons, number 10, climbing out.
Yeah, they were just getting up to speed, and there was contact just before the start-finish line here. See Phil Parsons here rolling around on the grass.
Buddy, he had spun almost to a start, and there was a hard hit there as he came down through the grass.
He's hurting somewhere. Still one of the regulars in this series. Looks like maybe he's holding his ribs or his side.
Ron Hornaday out. Everyone else, miraculously, was able to drive their cars away from the accident scene and try to come around to pit road.
Terry Labonte, yeah. He's got a lot of damage to the right front corner there. Several of the good cars were involved in that wreck.
The leader, Lyndon Amick, may have had a problem with second gear on that restart. Here's Bill.
Down here with Terry Labonte, crew chief Eddie Lowry, very disappointed. You should have seen this crew when Terry got into that incident. They were devastated, and the right front of that car is stoved right in. This is not going to be a quickie. He has absolutely no steering control right now. They have to pull away some of that sheet metal, make a rubber change, and see if they can get him back again.
Number 5 coming to pit road, Dick Trickle. Jimmy Spencer car. Phil Parsons is okay. Had the wind knocked out of him and a bit of soreness where that seat wraps around the rib cage and shoulder, but good to see him walking into the ambulance on his own.
Speaking, Lyndon Amick's in the pits also now.
Todd Bodine, after the crash yesterday, as Ken Squire told you, Brett Bodine, Barry Bodine, Jeff Bodine, all involved in getting that backup car down here. Here's Dick Bergman.
Lyndon Amick has just come into the pits. All they've done to the car is throw some fuel in it, and off he goes. The crew is just sort of a bit mystified about what's going on at the moment.
And Ned, Dick, from the sound, it sounded as he pulled away like he only had the high gears. Let's show you what happened on this aborted restart.
Okay, you can see he's on the outside. That's a lap car down on the inside.
That's Earnhardt Jr. in second right there.
And see, he didn't get a good start. Earnhardt got a good start, hit him, and then got Terry Labonte involved there. Todd Bodine came in there. Matt Kenseth got involved in car number 17. There's Phil Parsons coming into the picture, number 10.
See Terry Labonte nowhere to go. Right on the bottom of the racetrack. Earnhardt gets into him, turns up there.
And folks, all it takes is the amount of time to try to get your foot from the gas pedal to the brake pedal. Those cars are running so close together and at such speed. From Mike McLaughlin's root cam.
Well, he sees all that smoke. All the way down on the grass, but he gets hit anyway. He thought he had it dodged.
And another thing that happens on a situation like that, you're coming down, let's ride down here with Terry Earnhardt to see what happens.
And he said, oh boy, I got through there. Jason Jarrett was right in front of him. He got through it.
This is Ron Hornaday, who did not get through it.
He thought he was making the right move. Ooh, there's the hit lick to Phil Parsons, and that was a hard one.
Man.
Jimmy Kitchens.
He said, please don't come out in front of me, but he did.
That just wailed the left side of Hornaday after Hornaday ran into Phil Parsons.
Mike, as I was saying just a moment ago, watch Earnhardt on the high side as he comes along. Great run. Watch him right there. He makes contact into the back of Amick's car, and here he goes around. That collects everybody.
Now from the blimp, from the Bud 1 airship, you're going to see Earnhardt's blue car come up right against Amick and try to get away to the right when Amick doesn't come to speed. The blue car is Earnhardt. Here he comes. Now he's going to try to get off him, and Terry Labonte gets in the back of Earnhardt.
Exactly.
Of course, Terry couldn't see what was going on up there. He was just following Earnhardt. And boy, that was a mess. Big wreck, not even up to speed.
One pinball and a lot of flippers. Hold on to your chair, folks. Whoa. Once again from Jimmy Kitchens. Let's really slow this down from the Bud 1 airship. Now watch the red car. See if he gets into the back there of Earnhardt. Right there.
He did, but Earnhardt got in the back of Amick. He was really in the throttle right there, and you say, how do they do that? But you're in the accelerator. You're not on the brake, and you have to react. And when that car is that slow, all of a sudden you're there, and there's no time to react.
No, I was saying that just to note the contact, not to fix blame. There's no blame to be placed.
No blame at all. No.
The only blame is, and he certainly couldn't help it, was Lyndon Amick just didn't get the start that he wanted.
Dick Berggren.
And let's find out why Lyndon Amick didn't get the start that he wanted. His crew chief, Barry Dodson, will tell us what happened.
It was a perfect day so far for Scanna and PowerTail, and we got to the lead. Our mileage looked good enough to not stop. We'd already put our last set of stickers on, and the green came out. I told him green flag. He said he hit the gas and something went in the transmission, and we came in and we couldn't change it, so we're just trying to nurse it along to get some points. We don't have any right now, and I hate to tore up a bunch of good cars, but it was nobody's fault. A tough day for us, along as well with a lot of others.
They lost first and second gear. To Ralph.
This is the second time Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been in pit road. The man with the tape is his uncle Danny Earnhardt. This is Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s younger brother. He's taping up the nose. They've always knocked the nose of the top of the hood down so they can get air into the cowl for the engine, and they've lifted the right side of the left side of the car up so they can adjust the toe, because they'd already taped the hood down. They couldn't lift the hood up. Now they're watching for the pace car, getting the fender pulled away, and they're going to send him back out here.
Terry Labonte just completed his pit stop. They took an air chisel and a hacksaw, and they got the right front fender off, put new tires on the right side, and they even had to take a fist and pound on the rear spoiler to get that back into compliance. But right now, that car is an aerodynamic mess. Adam Petty and Kerry Earnhardt are going to do business together. Something to watch on the restart. They've been talking to each other, and they want to run together and try to get to the top.
When we come back, 4 of the front 4 drivers, every one of them are rookies in this race. We'll be right back to Daytona after this.
That makes that really makes our open mean something. Yeah. Because I said even the best get in trouble.
They've been patient. Junior, you mean?
Hey, Ralph.
He's coming back toward the
Jeff
pits
Green,
again.
okay. They're going to bring Junior back in. We'll be here for that.
He's coming in right now.
That left
then we'll go to Jeff Green. Yep.
You can see it just.
Fender. Okay, so
okay,
I guess
thank you. Yep.
Yeah. Well, if the alignment's not too bad, he might be able to draft.
Yeah.
Boom. Then Terry gets into him after.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great angle.
That shows
Okay,
it
I
all.
thought we sold them both. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Derek. That's what I said, wasn't it? Earnhardt. McLaughlin got in Earnhardt. I watched that. Hey.
Okay.
As he come down the racetrack.
See if I can get in the top 5. I want to do a thing in the top 5.
Sorry, buddy. I thought he was about to talk to us and tell us what he was going to do. I was talking to Buddy. Nothing.
Okay.
Okay, they're done here, Junior.
Sometime either in this segment or before we get back to racing, can we see a headshot of Kevin Grubb, because no one knows who he is.
You know, I am concerned about one thing. Can y'all find out in the pits what in the world's causing causing all these transmission problems?
It's unusual. One lap to go.
One to go.
I've never heard of transmission problems on this racetrack.
Yeah.
I think they're running half the gear or something.
The Budweiser blimp and its Eye in the Sky camera proud to provide you these live shots 1,000 feet above Daytona. As we line up for the restart, 5 rookies at the front of the field. 5 rookies of the race will be up front. When they go back to green flag racing here, there are still 26 cars on the lead lap. Let's have another look at what happened here, and you will see as Lyndon Amick doesn't come to speed. The blue car bumps him, the red car bumps him, and away they go.
Dale Earnhardt hard there into the back of Amick. You can see that the Terry Labonte car got in the back of Earnhardt, and this starts the melee.
Of course, that was after Earnhardt had hit Lyndon Amick. So it was just a chain reaction situation.
How'd you like Ron Hornaday's day job?
He thought he had it missed, but look here.
And Jimmy Kitchens, he thought he had it missed. He was just idling along down here in the grass. Let's go to Ralph.
Mike, it's kind of unusual to be seeing transmission problems on a big super speedway like this. What we found out from talking to some of the crew chiefs is that these guys are running smaller gears so they can get that transmission to turn faster, cut down on the friction in there, and the car will go a couple of tenths quicker. Problem is, the guys are running real high with the engines, and of course they're speed shifting, get them up to speed, and they're just overexerting all that energy on the transmission. They just can't take it.
Green flag, and the leader is Kevin Grubb, who drove in 22 Busch races last year, finished an impressive second in Dover in September, 4th in Rockingham, and 6th at Atlanta. Those strong runs got him recognized by Clarence Brewer, and he's in the Bruco Motorsports number 37 right now in the lead.
And Adam Petty hung up there on the outside just for a moment in the 45 car, running second.
This car number 57 is Jason Keller. He's 5 laps down. Here comes the 59 of Mike Dillon. Now he's trying to get back in the lead lap. He was 1 lap down.
And he may make it here, Ned. Coming along with him, number 32, Jeff Green, looking for the lead.
Jeff Green has restarted in 6th place and now all the way up to the lead.
Kevin Grubb, 6th different leader today. Sliding back in the pack a bit. Jeff Green is going to lead them around to the stripe. Ken Squire.
That Kevin Grubb, gee, just a year ago, you'd find him out at South Boston, Virginia. He says, I try to approach all races the same, whether it's South Boston or Daytona. But it's hard not to be in awe when you're here at Daytona. Every driver's dream is to race at Daytona. Not only is the dream fulfilled, but he's been, as Mike said, the 6th leader in this race. 37 laps to go.
Down to the inside, number 1, LaJoie makes a move, and he's got help on the right side of your screen.
Coming with him was the
Jeff Burton
car, number 9.
LaJoie up to 7th in that train. There are a couple of lap cars. So Randy LaJoie, who led this race earlier, trying to work his way back to the front. Jeff Green hauls them along. Kevin LePage, the Vermonter, right with him in 2nd place. And Chuck Bound, the 1990 champion of this series for this season, has reunited with Hubert and Jeff Hensley racing.
Chuck had some problems with his car early in the race, and he was back down in 35th, 36th place, but now, after some pit stops, some good strategy has him right up there among the leaders.
Cars in green like Jeff Burton have gained a position this last lap. Cars in red like Jason Jarrett have given one back.
Jeff Green's car looks extremely good down on the bottom part of that racetrack. Kevin LePage in the 99 just behind him there as they come off turn 4, head down towards the dogleg.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., after those repairs, continues in 23rd spot. The car will draft along, but with those aerodynamics, won't be able to lead. On the bottom, Randy LaJoie keeps charging that white machine toward the front, slips up in the groove, picks up another spot. Down at the garage, sometimes they say that LaJoie and his lift both run at 190 miles an hour. But he backs it up on the racetrack.
Yeah, he does.
He's had a great race car right from the time they unloaded him this week right on the outside pole, and look at him go.
Kevin LePage on the outside there, going for the lead on the high side.
But here comes LaJoie, second place on the bottom. Going to take that spot away from LePage, who has no drafting help up high. Move LaJoie up into second spot.
Yeah, Kevin could see he has good momentum up out of the corner. He just dropped back there just a little bit. There was a little contact there between he and Bound as they headed down towards turn 1.
And Terry Labonte has brought his car into the pits.
Chuck Bound, number 63, won a Busch Series championship 9 years ago. Went to Winston Cup, drove for Bobby Allison, had a bad crash at Pocono. Took him out of racing for a couple of years, but he's come back to the trucks and now to the Busch Series and up toward the front of the field.
And Lyndon Namick takes his car behind the wall out of the race.
Andy Hillenberg, that green and silver number 18, works the bottom against Kerry Earnhardt, Dale Jr.'s older brother. 13th position is Hillenberg.
Now, he struggled early in the race also. They were in for a long time during one of the cautions, made a lot of adjustments on his car, but he's right in the thick of it again.
They're behind another rookie, Casey Atwood, in 9th place. And you're riding with Kerry Earnhardt. That's Atwood just ahead from Nashville. Who'd you say Casey Atwood reminded you of?
He reminds me of young Fireball Roberts. The way he handles himself, you can see he has great skills, and he adapts to racetracks. I don't care if they're quarter-mile, half-mile, mile track, 2.5 miles. He's proven he can drive anywhere.
That's Hillenberg, the green car to the inside, and Mike McLaughlin. You saw number 34 moving back up. Now he's on the left side of your screen and bringing last season's runner-up Matt Kenseth with him.
Excuse me, I noticed Kerry Earnhardt got side.
He did. He's around backwards now.
Oh my goodness. I was just watching, and the car my dad's running with is
Jeff Fuller is in it. The 00, Larry Pearson,
down.
Dick Trickle, Johnny Benson, and the number 50 is in it as well, Mark Green.
Down 12 laps or something like that. Look at that, though.
He got loose on the high side. I saw that coming about. That's Larry Pearson there. You can see him moving around inside the car. That's always a good sign.
Jeff Fuller trying to drive away through the infield grass. Tony Raines is going to climb out. He moves up from the Truck Series to Grand National this year. And there's a lot of damage. Number 33, Jason Jarrett. His Daytona debut will not be all that memorable.
No, he had driven along and had stayed in the draft and was just being patient. He was right at the back of this whole pack, but when it all started happening in front of him, nowhere to go.
Jeff Fuller has made it to the pits. Number 89. Yet to climb out. There is Fuller's car, heavily damaged at the right front.
There's Tony Raines' car there. You can see
Put wheels on it and get behind the
He's
wall.
moving around inside and about to climb out.
I could see him talking to the crew. He's
I'm going to skippity-bippity ahead. All the people I was watching are out already.
Middle of 3 racing brothers. Owensboro, Kentucky. Now getting some aid from the track crew.
That's Larry Pearson walking with one of the attendants there.
Why? Why is this happening?
I don't know. This new group of young kids that we've got coming into the sport now seems to be thinking everybody should move over for him. The 17 car, he ran the 40 car up into the wall, just trying to get in line, and the 40 had tapped him just a little bit to let him know that he was out there, but the 17 just kept coming on up, and you know, there wasn't any sense in that. I mean, I know how the guy is now, so I'll be watching for him.
That's Larry Pearson, a past champion of this series.
Thanks, Dick. Let's add Jeff Finley and Dick Trickle to the cars involved. 8 cars in all involved in this crash at lap 88. We'll be back to the Napa Auto Parts 300 at Daytona after this. Right after this.
I told them I was coming off because I was definitely off the pace, and they all got jumped up behind me. I feel sorry for them. I'm happy for Stanton and Powertail Erickson, all the guys supporting me. You know, we were up front. That was the biggest thing. We had good pit stops. The guys were really hard and did a good job with the car. The
something broke, mechanical stuff, but that stuff's going to happen. We'll be up front hopefully next week.
Todd, you're pretty helpless.
That's the wrong spot at the wrong time, that's for sure. Now, the Phillips 66 car was running good. You know, we lost our primary car in practice yesterday, cut down the right rear, and Dennis Shoemaker was kind enough to let us use his race car, and the thing was running great. Guys busted their humps all morning to get it together and get it on the line, and the Phillips 66 Chevrolet was up front, and it's a shame. We had a shot to win the race.
Back upstairs.
12 cars in the lead draft on the left of your screen. That's Adam Petty, number 45, getting jostled around.
Boy, oh boy, Andy Hillenberg there, very close to spinning out. He got touched in the back, but good car control, got back straight.
Adam Petty, a number 45. His grandfather was going to come up and join us here in the booth for a bit. His grandfather just said, I don't think so. I'm too nervous. Won the Daytona 500 7-time, won 200 races. I need to be by myself. I'm too nervous watching my grandson.
Well, he is doing a great job. He's hanging on to that lead draft. He's moved up to 5th spot this lap. The last Petty to win in his first Daytona appearance was Kyle, who won the ARCA 200 here about 20 years ago.
Adam Petty was, in his early days, so much like Richard. What a loss. I mean, what an incredible
single file they come. Things have settled down here just
talent. That little,
now it's Petty who
that
climbs the hill.
he never got a chance to show it all. He was just so good.
Anybody ever watched Richard Petty run this racetrack realizes he run a very high line, and he moved up there and he didn't lose any ground by doing it.
Brad Loney, number 90, went with Petty, while Casey Atwood, 27, makes it 3 wide to the back straightaway. School's out, rookies, here we go.
Chuck Bound almost lost control, is moving around. Adam Petty got touched just a little bit, got sideways also.
They are going at it. Did Brett Favre say, let's get it on? That's what they're doing.
Getting it on and tearing it off. Fenders, that is. Well, these rookies won't have to worry about who to run with.
They are holding their own and doing a great job.
The hero in that last little skirmish there was Chuck Bound, because he was in the middle and got completely sideways.
63 is Bound.
That's his car.
Watch him wiggle right here. Then McLaughlin on the bottom, he moves up right there.
And there was not quite room for him to go between Adam Petty and the 90 car, Brad Lundy.
Here's another look at it. Petty is 45, Bound is 63 in the middle as Atwood, 27, drives underneath, and here comes McLaughlin, 34.
Right here, they get together. You see him get sideways, and he touches Adam right there. Adam gets back straight.
Well, both Adam Petty and Chuck Bound did a great job there because both their cars were hit.
For the lead, Randy LaJoie takes it away from Jeff Green.
And look who's moved in there just behind him in the 27 car. Casey Atwood in second place.
Casey Atwood started this race 18 years old. I think he's about 40 right now. 3 wide again.
Adam Petty on the bottom in the 45 there takes the spot away from McLaughlin as they go through. Now McLaughlin's in the middle part there. That's where all the turbulence is, and you can get sideways in a moment.
Andy Hillenberg, 18, passes to the inside, and coming around the outside, Jeff Green, 32, back to the front, and 37, Kevin Grubb.
And there's quite a bit of damage to the right side of Kevin Grubb's car. It's amazing that he's running that well. That's the green and blue car, number 37. Here they are, 3 wide once again.
And they're just not going to separate, Ned.
Bowing down on the inside in car number 63. McLaughlin in the middle in car number 34. Kevin LePage on the outside. McLaughlin's car has a lot of damage to it as well on the back.
This has allowed 4 cars to break away at the front. LaJoie, Atwood, Kenseth, and Petty. The old man, Randy LaJoie, they call him. And it's Casey Atwood and Adam Petty that are filling up the old man's rearview mirror. This is going to get big. 101 laps complete, 19 to go. We'll be right back.
Now that's what we do best.
Yeah.
Now that's a ball game.
When you come watch
your grandfather run. And it's just special to start the whole season off. They don't put any pressure on us at all, making us start our biggest race of the year here at Daytona.
Not much. Matt Kenseth has been kicked out of that lead draft.
Absolutely. Adam Petty made a move to the inside there. Kenseth was kicked up to the high side, and he's out of that front group right now.
And coming back, Mike McLaughlin in the 6th position. McLaughlin looking for his first good finish here at Daytona. He's had a lot of good starts in this race.
Those front 4 cars trying to pull away to settle it among themselves.
And they'd be well advised right now to stay in that long train until it comes closer to the finish. You see these guys, though, Jeff Green in 4th place right there, looking over Adam Petty every way he can.
Randy LaJoie, 37 years old, pulling this pack around Daytona. Twice the age of the man behind him and the man behind him. 18-year-olds Casey Atwood and Adam Petty. Bill Stevens?
Mike, all day long, Adam Petty's crew chief, Lance Dieters, has been telling him to be patient, be patient. I just asked Lance, are you still telling him to be patient? He's saying, yeah, but it was a little easier earlier in the race than it is now. And by the way, spotting for Adam Petty, a name we know and trust, Dale Inman.
Richard Petty's cousin, Dale Inman, helped him to many Daytona victories here.
Who is retiring this year. We'll miss Dale around the NASCAR Winston Cup garage. He's been one of the greats over the years, but he deserves it. Retire, take a little time off.
Take a deep breath. 10 laps to go.
Casey Atwood in 2nd place. How good is he? He showed up in Daytona during the winter test. Bill Elliott put him in his car to test some.
Randy LaJoie. They call him the old man. He kind of wears that mantle well, kind of like an old sweater. It's comfortable and it fits. But if you think he's going to let one of these young kids fry without a fight, forget it.
If that was Mark Martin or Joe Nemechek on his back bumper, they wouldn't get by without a fight, let alone the rookie drivers.
Jeff Green has climbed back up to 4th place. And Jeff Green began Busch racing in 1990. This is his 117th career start. He won at Las Vegas in 97. Finished 7th here in 1995. He is still a factor.
They're going back Kerry Earnhardt. His car is not up to speed after getting involved in that accident, but he still is running in 20th place. He just went 4 laps down. Dale Earnhardt Jr., in case you weren't wondering about him, he's in 16th place. He's still on the lead lap, but his car is not competitive now.
Dick Berggren?
Well, we're talking about kids versus veterans. Mark Reno is a veteran crew chief, and he's watching his driver, Randy LaJoie, lead this thing. Mark, can you keep those kids back there?
Well, you know, I'm sort of hoping them kids think 2nd and 3rd isn't bad. You know, I'm hoping they stay there. They're plenty fast, and if they hold up them other guys, we might come out of this thing on top.
Not a chance. They're going to think 2nd and 3rd is very good. And by the way, there's been no conversation for many laps between the driver in the 1st spot, the driver in the 2nd spot. They are parked side by side here on pit road, but there is no deal between 1st and 2nd place of any kind.
Randy LaJoie, 2-time series champion, has raced a number of Winston Cup races over the past few years, but he prefers to stay on the junior circuit.
People don't understand what the demands are on you when you run Winston Cup. The way I look at it, the Busch Series is a 5-day-a-week job, and Winston Cup's a 7-day-a-week job. And at this point in my career, with 2 young boys and a lovely wife and a lot of friends and family, it's not about Randy LaJoie, race car driver no more. It's about Randy LaJoie, dad, husband, and friend. And I could be a better across the board 5 days a week running Busch Cup.
Randy LaJoie started banging wheels at the Danbury Race Arena in Connecticut, where his dad was a multi-time champion. Moved on to Waterford Speedbowl, Stafford, Thompson, the Modifieds, and the Busch Grand Nationals. And he's trying to win this race for the 2nd time in 3 years, trying to deny those 18-year-old kids right behind him. Now here's the 2nd pack. You see the interval, and they may have a tough time running down the leaders with just 7 laps to go.
Mike, you're exactly right. As long as that front group does not make it double wide, racing each other, that bunch back there cannot catch them. But when it's going to pick up here, nobody's going to sit back here. I see Casey Atwood looking to the outside, to the inside, trying to find the weakness on LaJoie.
6 laps to go, Ned. What do you tell an 18-year-old who's in a position to win at Daytona?
Hey, I think you got to turn him loose. You know, certainly finishing second, third, or fourth here in their first big race here at Daytona would be wonderful. It'd be good for their career, good for their confidence and everything else. But when you get that close to victory, man, you got to go for it.
Dick Berggren.
Long faces in Casey Atwood's pit right now. They've got a possible broken right front shock. They're not sure they've got a broken right front shock, but they are concerned about it, Mike.
There is Atwood in second place with 6 laps to go. Now, buddy, if that right front shock absorber is broken, what will that do to what Casey feels behind the wheel?
Well, it's happened to other race cars on racetracks, but what it'll do is let the right front spring bounce up and down, and he'll lose traction with that right front corner. But I'll tell you what, if he's got a broken right front shock, the rest of them better worry about him if he ever gets that thing fixed and comes back here to race him ever again.
I don't think this is going to be a 4-car shootout. That second pack is closing in fast on the leader. Ralph Shaheen.
Mike, we spoke to Lance Dieter's crew chief for Adam Petty. They were hoping to go with Casey Atwood. Now, they have also been down and talked to Harold Hawley as well with Jeff Green's car. There's a possibility now maybe they'll rework that deal and go with Green instead of the Atwood machine.
Could be trouble, Ralph, because as you'll see later today on CBS in the 125-mile qualifier, to beat the leader, the second-place car to be part of that run. We'll see.
And that second pack has caught up now. Kenseth right on the back bumper of Green in the 32 car. Kenseth had dropped back about 500 yards, but now he's right there with them.
And the move is to the inside. Back to single file. Atwood climbing the hill in second place.
Adam Petty checking him over there, moved into third place there. He's checking the bottom side. Now he moves way up high there, almost into the wall off the corner.
And that cost him
dearly.
The car just pushed up with him when he came off the corner.
Yeah, we hear this term all the time, arrow push. That's what happened to him. Front end just lost traction right out to the outside wall.
He may have brushed the wall. Adam Petty is losing touch with that lead pack. So now, 7 cars come to the line. 3 laps to go.
I was just told that the right rear side of Adam Petty's car shows a little bit of damage right in front of the right rear wheel.
Let's show you what happened to Adam Petty coming off turn 2.
You see him on the outside there. Yes, indeed. You could see a little bit of dust fly up as he touched the wall, just so it knocked a little momentum out of the car. That's why he dropped backward.
First 5 cars, single file, a change at 7th position. Moving underneath is McLaughlin. Taking a spot from Hillen. That white number 34 McLaughlin is up to 6th. He's one of the fastest cars here.
Jeff Green moved to third place now, and he's looking on the outside. Hillenberg in the 18 car and Kenseth are working together trying to make a move back there.
2 laps to go. Don LaJoie, many times a champion at the Danbury Race Arena. And he works hard on pit road, cheering his son along.
And well, he should. His son is a great race driver. And here they come hooking up back there, trying to make a move.
On the inside, number 32, Jeff Green. Now, as they get side by side, can the leader, LaJoie, get away?
Hey, that's the best thing could happen to him.
Jeff Green got sideways there underneath the 27 car. Casey Atwood almost lost control.
And a big...
Hey, Jesse, thank you for the raid. This had 1 lap to go, and oh my God, we had a rollover.
Can come around to claim his 2nd championship of this race in 3 years.
But he's coming around at a pretty good clip. He's not sure of that, Mike. He's racing right back to the flag.
And wins it. Randy LaJoie. 2 wins in 3 years. And in the
tires and light the fire.
18-year-old rookies learned some hard lessons. The window
net is down on Casey Atwood's car. That is a signal that he makes that he is okay. So the rescue crews know that. He is on the radio to his crew right now.
Boy, that's good news to hear.
Woo. The rest of the field comes by under caution. Jeff Green finishes second. Bobby Hillen, a hard-earned third. Andy Hillenberg fourth. And Adam Petty will finish fifth. Matt Kenseth, Kevin LePage, Kevin Grubb, Jeff Burton, and Chuck Bound will be the top 10. 12 career wins for Randy LaJoy, 8 on the super speedways, 4 on the short tracks.
There's Atwood crawling into the ambulance, headed to the care
I'm
center.
doing all right. I'm doing all right. I was testing how I could stream with my son racing, and
see why that trip to the care
that,
center is mandatory.
like the Wi-Fi and all. Holy crap.
The important part is where Casey Atwood was setting all
Casey
the roll
Atwood.
cages up.
Danny Bagwell running
It's
third
like
in an
the
accident
last
like this in
lap
yesterday's
of
Series race.
the Goodies 300. My dad's car is already wrecked out.
But the roll cage that Buddy was talking about, that's all in this area here. And of course,
Gee
that's where the driver
whiz.
sits over in
That
this
was
area.
that, like, wicked young kid.
So that part held up well.
I cannot understand where Adam Petty went during that wreck, but he made it through there.
Now the roll cage in this car comes up and over and virtually surrounds the driver.
Sleep over
There are
a
bars
stream.
in the doors, and then all along here you see these bars. That's part of the roll cage structure that connects back to the
Let me
frame.
put my
The
camera
driver
on.
is
I
really
had it off because
in a
my
steel cocoon there, so he's
kiddo
protected
is
as much as
streaming.
possible.
And you even have
Not
a bar
streaming,
that goes
racing.
here and back down this
And we
way
got, like,
in the center part of the car
podunk
to keep
mountain
the middle part of the top from caving in.
internet.
There's a window net on the left side and one up in the ceiling to help keep the driver contained and safe. Dick Berggren?
Jason Ratcliffe is Casey Atwood's crew chief, and this accident happened right in front of you. What is it like to watch your driver flip right in front of your pit?
Hello. I'm
He's
back.
fine. I'm still pretty shook up right now, but he's
About
okay.
choking.
He talked to us as soon as the car come to a stop, but I'm still looking for my heart around here somewhere on the ground. It's pretty rough. We had a good shot at it. He did everything he could. We got good engines.
Back in this day, the green-white checker was
We'll get him next time. Most
like
important
not
thing is he's
a
okay.
thing.
Yeah, it sure is. Casey Atwood's all right. Everybody is very relieved about that, Mike.
And he'll be credited with 16th place finish, Dick Berggren, 1 lap down. Watch that number
That was
27
quite
car
an
on the left
airlift
side
on
of the
this
screen.
99.
Andy Hillenberg gets
Ooh,
in
we
the
got
back
pushed.
of him, and he gets him to the outside wall. You can see the 18 car there. The hood's all torn up on it where he got in the back of Casey Atwood.
He's right up and almost over Mike
Oh,
McLaughlin.
boy.
Comes back down on the back end and then back to the front end.
There goes the radiator and the springs.
Now the good part is that probably looks really bad to the
All
racing
right,
fan,
all
but
right.
it's sliding on the roof. That's where all the roll cage is. It does not start turning over until it scrubs off a tremendous amount of speed. Now watch him when he hits the grass here. It'll turn over several times there, but the speed is down where it's not like 190 miles an hour.
Okay, another 20 minutes. I might raid you back.
Casey Atwood's Daytona Dream ended 1 lap too soon.
Watch right here when they make contact. He's in a straight line. Makes contact there without Andy Hillenberg, who was right behind him, run right in the back of him.
18-year-old kid on his roof.
There after he bounced off of Hillenberg as Atwood flew up and over him. Here's a look from behind.
Didn't take much, but right into the back and turned him right into the wall.
No, it almost looked like Mike McLaughlin might have been pushing Andy Hillenberg, and he had no way to back off.
They were coming down to get the white flag and certainly were going for it.
Watch this.
You're riding with Mike McLaughlin. No.
Nah, he was already a problem.
Definitely Andy Hillenberg.
Mike
got
had
the back
nothing
of
to
him,
do with
that's all.
that. Mike is a modified driver
Well,
from
we've heard
New
that too much
England.
today.
Mike Magic Shoes McLaughlin. And his son, actually, Max McLaughlin, races some dirt. He was racing like late model and all.
You saw the officials with the caution flag out very quickly as leader Randy LaJoy came to the flag.
Youch.
But as we mentioned, LaJoie not sure if he had passed under the caution or not. Came around at speed.
It was pretty vicious for a young kid.
See them coming in a straight line there. They make contact. You'll see 27 just turn right
Phoenix
from
car.
contact from behind it.
How strange.
When that car gets sideways to the wind, a little bit of uncontrollable lift there.
32, that's still base.
To finish in fourth place.
See the damage to the right front corner, but like you say, Ned, he did make it around.
And the best thing that happened to Casey Atwood inside that car is that each one of those impacts took off a little more speed, a little more momentum.
Exactly.
As it went over and around.
If that had happened right there while he was still running 180 miles an hour, it would have been much worse.
Gee whiz.
Well, all right. Let's see from the blimp and see the relationship. That white car, McLaughlin,
They're going to show it like 500 times, right?
They just touch.
Boy, what a shot. That tells the story.
McLaughlin, 34, almost gets through there. Wild ride for 18-year-old Casey Atwood, a brush with the wall for 18-year-old Adam Petty, and the fellow they both call the old man proves once again at Daytona that old age and experience.
I think they finish under caution.
For youth and enthusiasm. Ken Squire is in victory lane.
With a man that's won it for the second time, ready to come out after a great win of this classic. Here's Randy LaJoie of Norwalk, Connecticut, out of car number 1. And the celebration is well underway. Hey, what a great ride. You did it on fumes in 1997. What did you do it on today?
Just plain hotter horsepower. And, you know, I got to thank James Finch and Phoenix Construction Racing. These guys
Randy
are an absolute
LaJoie,
great race
I
team.
actually saw his
we got a
dad
couple of great
race.
sponsors here. We got Bob Evans Restaurant.
His name was Donnie. Donnie LaJoie in a 7-Eleven.
So hopefully this will bring it on. And
Vega, I think.
For that cup again. And,
modified.
I can't wait to get after it again. What a way to start the Busch season by victory lane here.
Did you see any of what was going on behind you?
How many times? That's why I wanted to keep it behind me. You know, that's one good thing. This race car, we had trouble at one time. We had a left rear tire come loose on us, had to come into pits, and I thought our day was over, but thankfully they caught a caution and we got our lap back, and it really helped us out because it put us back in the lead. And you know, I seen those young guys. You know, Adam Petty's been on my butt all year. He's saying that him and Casey Atwood's age doesn't add up to mine, and I seen those guys in the mirror. I thought, oh, this is not good. Then I looked in the mirror the last lap by seeing Atwood backwards, and I said, this is not good. So it did get us a win. Hopefully everybody's okay.
The old Lion kept the young Cubs behind him today.
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of people I got to thank. My sister's birthday, my parents, you know. Steve DeLuca helps me and my parents out a lot. Kool-Aid. And once again, James Finch in this race team. Mark Reno.
James Finch still races.
Everybody that helps us out, man. Thanks
Phoenix
a lot.
Racing.
Lisa,
Jake Finch,
his mother's here. His dad, who was a great racer, is here. And that's the celebration in victory lane. Let's go to Ralph Shaheen.
Well, we've got the whole Petty clan down here at the gas pumps. We got Mom Patty. We got Dad Kyle. We got Grandpa King Richard and Adam right in the middle. And what a great run you had.
Looks so much like Richard does.
Well, you know, we almost did. We didn't. We, you know, coming out of turn 2, the car just kept getting tighter and tighter as the race went on. And, you know, they're coming out of 2. I was running behind Casey, and it just pushed up, and I had to lift, and that pack got under me. But I'm glad I wasn't in it. That pack got a little wild there at the end of the race.
Some patented Petty smiles going on down here. I think they like what they saw. The best part was Kyle down here with the camera, making sure he gets it all on film. Mike?
Well, next time you see Adam, he may have a goatee, sunglasses, and a hat. He had a great run today. Randy LaJoie has won the Napa Auto Parts 300. We'll be back to Daytona after this.
Alrighty, guys. I am so glad that y'all are hanging out with me, doing a little test stream here while my son and I race to see if it will work. Let's go jump down and see some Katie Rogers.
CBS Sports presentation of the Napa Auto Parts 300 is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts.
Wow, it was right. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I saw it happening.
Yes.
Let's go do some real cool racing. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll jump over and see y'all and Katie Rogers.
Okay. Well, I saw it happen.
He's a really good driver.
I appreciate the raid.